All right. What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show, the impromptu Casually Chelsea show, because today some of us woke up to news that Thomas Tuchel is officially no longer a part of Chelsea Football Club. I'm here joining my panel, Winter Surfer, Real Chris. Thank you for being here, guys. Andrew, I'm gonna hand the reins off to you for this one because you've been pretty much everywhere today. You've been the Sky Sport News of Casually FC today, and I guess you can kind of give us a roundup of what you've gathered information wise about anything that's been happening with progress with this.
Yeah, so I think it was just about after 10 a.m. or just around 10 a.m. UK time. Chelsea came out and announced that Thomas Tuchel they said parted ways. He's been sacked. They then broke the news. They want someone who they thanked him, but they want someone who shares the same vision. Blah blah blah. And they looked to appoint someone very quickly. Throughout the day, 3 names started being mentioned. Zinedine Zidane, Mauricio Pochettino, and then Graham Potter. Throughout the day, the links to Graham Potter have grown, and news about Graham Potter has grown so much that literally probably tomorrow morning they'll announce him, or maybe early afternoon, they'll announce him as the new head coach. There's also rumours that the director of football will be announced soon as well, and he had some part in wanting to get Potter hired. Also, during the day, there's been little bits of news, as always, about why Tuchel was sacked and everything like that. And basically, they've been wanting to do it. Doubts started happening around pre-season time, not only about his football, the way of performing, just his general behaviour around them, wanting to know how they want to work with each other. He wasn't very receptive to that. Stuff like that, about changes coming in and everything happening. Then you heard the fallout with some of the players, stuff like that. The usual thing that usually comes out. Be fascinating to what Tuchel says, whether he's able to say anything. Obviously, because if he's sacked, he's going to have a payoff. But yeah, and then obviously links to Potter. They want to get someone in for the Fulham game. Anthony. Oh no, who was it? No, it's
Mauricio Pochettino.
Anthony Barry took a training today. But yeah, that's just basically it. Basically, people fired. All the stuff coming out about him and basically how the situation broke down very quickly between Bowley, Clearlake, and him. And the players also. Some of the players just not happy with him around. And and then basically the links to Potter have just grown and grown so much so that tonight that it was reported that he's verbally agreed to join Chelsea. Wow. There's a 16 million buyout which was also being agreed with us. We won't be talking to him. Brighton have said it's okay. They've not stood in his way whatsoever. They probably met him this afternoon today. There's also his buyout clause also includes that of most of his staff as well, that he'd bring most of his backroom training team that he'd bring, including like a recruiting guy or something like that. But yeah, seems to be moving, seems to be rolling. There's been a massive split in the Chelsea fan base. What I was saying, tweeted out, is some of the first things you should be, if you're a Chelsea, in my opinion, as a Chelsea fan, if you're not saddened by how this has turned out, then I don't know what to say. Yeah, this not working out is a detriment, and it hurts Chelsea because we're having to do this. So any failure.
Yeah, honestly, Andrew, I haven't heard your opinion about this whole thing at all in all the streams that you've been in today. So yeah, go on.
I mean, that was on the Lewis's one. That was it. I was sort of.
Well, that was 6 hours, so.
Let me be honest. I've saved myself for this one, but let me be honest. I'm sort of desensitized to Chelsea firings. I don't get myself attached because of the way I always expect 18 months to 2 years it happens all again. That's why I'm not going to get attached to Potter, because I think in 18 years, 2 years time it might happen. 18 months, 2 years time happen again. But let me be. I tweeted out. first of all, like I said, you should be saddened by how this is it crackling, my mic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it does from time to time, and it goes away. Ladies and gents, I will say in the comments section, depending on how this stream goes, because we did send the. Unfortunately, we don't have the premium StreamYard, so we can't invite everyone. So we are saving some spaces for certain guests to come
Plus, I'm
in,
not gonna
like
last all the way.
Alexis and Kai and certain people. We'll see what happens, but I am certainly going to give you guys the link so you guys can come in and have your say and have this discussion with us, because I think today, and if you were on the Discord, I I was barely able to work today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was on Discord all day, just talking with people and trying to just compartmentalize what is going on and how. Because even right now, I think until I see the pitch and I see Thomas Tuchel is not there, even to this moment, I am having such a hard time believing that this is actually happening. And I know Andrew's desensitizing this and all that, but me, I'm not. I'm not. This one really sucks because of all the fucking Chelsea managers that we've had in this goddamn team. Yeah, go ahead. Go do your thing, Andrew. Of all the Chelsea managers we've had in this club, you could arguably say that this is the one that it's been the most fucked up sacking, because
One of them, yeah.
It's up there with Ancelotti's, because Ancelotti's was pretty bad at the end of a game. Ancelotti wasn't really doing much. It didn't really make sense. This one, think about it this way, guys. This gaffer comes in, gets us back up to 4th place, gets us a Champions League. Then the following season doesn't really get back. Gets Romelu Lukaku, who could arguably be a club signing. Gets who else? Saul. Again, not really his type of player. I don't think he even got a single player that was his signing last season. And then has to deal with Romelu Lukaku's bullshit come November, December time. Copes through that. Then has to deal with the whole sanctions on the club, copes through that, even says, I'll drive the bus to the game if I have to, with all the sanctions happening. Still gets us 4th place, gets us to 2 finals, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup final, and still gets sacked. After all that, after having the club spend 270 billion pounds, right? Billion, I'm sorry, million pounds.
No, we spent billions
for all these players, just so that 5 days after the transfer window, you get sacked. Don't even get a chance to try out these players.
That's the thing. I don't listen. Let me just. I want to say this. I want to say. I'm sorry if my mic's crackling. I can't do anything at the moment.
It's fine now.
Yeah, you're fine now. Yeah,
it might go. But what I'm saying is this: I'm desensitized. I know others aren't, but because I've had 20+ years of this club doing this, so it doesn't come. What I'm not desensitized to is people online celebrating.
Yeah.
I don't care I don't care if you're Tuchel in, Tuchel out. Your first thought should be, my
Chelsea.
God, Chelsea Football Club. Why has this failed? This shouldn't have happened. And then second of all, it's point score and go, yeah, I was right. I was this. To me,
I hate that.
To me, I have no time for you whatsoever. That's why
it's like this isn't about you. This is about what you were right about or not. Like, go fuck off.
Yeah, I know. But what I will say, Marshall, I agree totally with you. I mean,
yeah.
I would have said this: if you had any doubts about Thomas Tuchel when you took over the club, you should have parted ways with him.
Yes.
The day after you took over.
Yes.
You know what? You should have said, you know what? You've been brilliant. You've been brilliant, but we're taking over the club in a new direction. We want to thank you for the way you have been literally the de facto face of this club, the leader of this club during the sanctions. We want to thank you, but we want a clean slate. We want a clean slate like that. Because I agree. On the surface, you spend nearly £300 million. You should back him. But then again, I want to stress this again. This is not solely down to the way we're playing football. This is a whole performance and relationship issue on and off the pitch. Okay, on the pitch, it's with his players. Okay, and I don't know, man. you call the players out. You want to call the players out, fine, you do that. The problem is, what is the result? Because if you're calling out if you're saying literally on pre-season, what do you expect? I've still got the same players.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
won or lost. The hardest thing to try and get back is the dressing room. Once you've lost it, it's an impossible job to get, and you're still playing some of those guys and expecting them to play for you like that. And also, listen, they backed him, but this guy, remember, Thomas Tuchel came out and said he was fine with his midfield. He was fine with his midfield, even though the options were slim and poor. His refusal to change and be flexible. Look at Tuesday. Look at yesterday. Not changing the system and still playing and bringing Ziyech on and playing right.
Putting Mount in a pivot.
Are you for real, bro?
It was keeping them on as well.
You're making. I'm trying to defend you, and you make stuff. It's difficult. I can't people who back Tuchel. It's tough for us to back you when you've got Zachariah on the bench. Give him 60 minutes. Don't you have to play him full 90? Give him 60. Play him.
Of course, like I know right now.
You didn't play him in the last game.
I know right now might not be the best time to go about going down Tuchel's throat, but at the same time, he's not free of criticism. There are things that he did were very, very questionable. And this comment right here, like I'm not disagreeing that he slightly deserved it. I don't think he did deserve it. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah. I don't think he deserved it per se. That's just the wrong choice of words. I can see where I can sympathize with it, right? But where you lost me, Assad, is on a worse run than Lampard. Where was this worse run than Lampard? What is he referring to? Do you know?
I think he's referring to not just this. Assad, put in the chat if you disagree with me.
Yeah.
I don't think he's just looking at the start of this season. I think from the Real Madrid second leg after that, the performances and the results, they were crap. Yeah, they're on the beach. Their heads had gone after that Real Madrid second leg. I'm sure of it. I think, Assad, if I'm wrong, please correct me. If I'm right, let me know. I think you're talking about not only the start of the season, but also at the end of the season. And pre-season. It was a continuous thing, and I don't put much stock in pre-season. I put stock in what he said about the players in pre-season, and he threw them under the bus publicly. Yeah, that's fine if they then go, but most of them stayed. Yeah, most of them it's still nearly the same team. Remember, we only really have played the 3 of them constantly. The new signings only played, so it's only really 3 that have been replaced. So you're still picking a bulk of that squad that you threw under the bus, and also let me just for anyone starts. The players take a huge part of this as well. I'm not absolving the players of any of this whatsoever. They are professionals who get paid very well. Okay, they're in a privileged position. It's one of the only sports is one of the only industries where you can not perform and still keep your job and get paid as well as you do. And they've taken liberties now.
Bastards.
And they've done it again. Now they're going to have to really, I really don't envy Potter going into this situation because.
Oh God, no!
It's one of those.
Like, look, and I'm just gonna put this out there, and I think all of us agree. I don't think Potter's gonna be a bad manager. I think he's gonna be a great manager for Chelsea. Is he better than Tuchel? In my opinion, no. I think Tuchel has the experience. He has the important thing that Tuchel has that Potter doesn't is the ability to handle egos. He's worked with Mbappe. He's worked with Neymar. He's worked with Aubameyang. Like he's worked with these really, really big egos in locker rooms. Whereas the biggest ego that you could say Potter's worked with is like Welbeck. Like it's not really much of a comparison there. That's where I'm worried. And if something like this happened to Tuchel, I don't know if I could see Potter lasting more than a year.
Well, let me just comment here because he might have missed it at the start, and that's all good. There was a report out tonight that Chelsea are close to announcing their DOF, Director of Football, and that they had some part in the hiring of Graham Potter. And that's important because that is going to be the relationship going forward of how Chelsea run their transfers and everything like that. Potter's going to be the coach. The DOF gets the players. Potter coaches the players. Whether he has input or not, I don't know because most European clubs the coach doesn't really have an input. It's only really England where the coach has a big input or something like that. And if Potter's okay with that, Potter's okay with that. If he's okay with not having much of an input or just maybe now and again, then fine. It's his job then to train the players. Or he doesn't even have to name names. He can just name profiles that he wants. He doesn't even name, you don't have to name names, just profiles. The true work of a DOF is to not spend actually a lot of money, but get the best deals out there possible. To to use your network, to use your resources, to find the gems that no one's talking about, and sign them for like 8 million, 12 million when they're going to be worth like 50 million in a 2 years' time or more than that. But
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, quite a few of you in here. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're new, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're leaving comments down below if you're watching this in the future. Make sure you're checking out the links in the description. Andrew's channel is on there with Sarcasm City. His Twitter.
It's Mr. Flores'
the channel that Andrew is on.
No, because someone said that this was my channel. I made sure to make sure that they said I said it was
the channel that Andrew features on, as well as this channel. Yes. This is also Andrew's channel.
Yeah, I corrected them.
Sure.
I corrected them.
No, it's fair.
It's Marshall's channel, bro.
I'm not bothered by it. I mean, you're on here just as much as I am. So
I wouldn't even know how to create a thumb, let alone a thumbnail. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I need that little bit of humor just to get me by this. But ladies and gents, make sure you smash the like button. I'm going to send you guys the link. I want you guys to come on. Say what you want to say. Let's try to get a panel up in here. I don't know. Let's just this whole situation has demoralized me to a whole big extent.
Rules.
Can I say something before?
Hang on, let me just say the rule. Be
no
polite.
isms.
Don't mind you swearing, but don't use. I prefer you not to use the C word if you can. If you can. I'm just saying, and no isms. You know what the isms are? Not at all. And if you do something on camera, you will be permanently banned.
Yeah, please. No dicks.
Yeah,
maybe some titties.
That shouldn't be your body, Marshall.
No matter how good it is, we don't want to see any part of your body.
Can I say something anyway?
It goes to men, women, we don't care.
Yeah. Go for it, Chris.
Right. Well, since you ungrateful bastards didn't thank Tuchel in this video yet, I will. Yeah, like none of you even thanking him in this video. But
we're too upset to
I
still don't even believe it, Chris.
No, like I like to thank Tuchel. Like it's been here 2 years, right?
2
years. Yeah, if you add all together, I reckon about 2 years. This guy has won us the Champions League, the Club World Cup, and the Super Cup, and got us to 5 finals. I want to thank him for that as well. Like,
you're right.
I don't know. I think 5 finals in 2 years with a squad he doesn't even like is actually quite very impressive as well. And it's not easy to do. Like I said, this is why I'm really sad about Tuchel getting sacked. I know we can play bad football and all that, but we do get a lot of results. We've got a lot of wins. We barely lost. As I saw the 100 games. But yeah, I'd like to thank Tuchel for getting us all the finals, keeping us in top 4. And even this season, we're not too far off from the top of the league, really. We're 5 points behind, even with our bad form.
Thank Tuchel for driving the bus.
I would like to thank I would like to thank him anyway, for everything he's done, because we wouldn't be celebrating Champions League. I never thought we'd celebrate Champions League with Lampard or Sarri or even Conte with those managers. So I'd like to thank Tuchel for everything he's done for the club.
Fair enough. Yeah, Chris. I mean, I agree. I thank you, Tuchel, for everything. None of you thanked him. Listen, I'm just I'm still so perplexed, and Andrew doesn't have any excuse. He's been on stream all day. You should all day to thank him. This one is just it's so weird. It's so surreal. I can't even believe it. And Kai's probably heartbroken because Kai is the one that wanted him to begin with.
I was celebrating on Twitter, actually.
Get the fuck out. I don't believe that.
Chris, if you can find one tweet where I celebrated Tuchel, please put it up. I didn't.
Yes.
See, the way that I look at it, right? Because if you guys know, probably you, Andrew, and I work in business, I work in marketing, and I work on all that stuff. So I try to look at it from the fan point of view, and also the business point of view. What a lot of people on Twitter don't understand, right? Because let's face it, a lot of people on Twitter are teens and whatever. it's a business, you know,
Yes.
and investments are not gifts, you know. And at the end of the day, everything is ROI in life. And if you don't know what ROI means, a return on investments, right? Like when you invest in something, you want to see the fruit of it. The higher the investment is, the the more likely it's gonna bite you in the ass if there is no progress with it. And the reality is Chelsea has been really, really, really bad to the level where it was with Lampard. We can blame the players, blame Tuchel. That's all subjectivity. Reality is on the pitch, it wasn't working. I think we were one of the worst forms from I think only Liverpool overperformed how bad we are. But you know, so I love Tuchel, man. I'm heartbroken, honestly. Like when I heard the news, I was at the gym, and it hit me. I was really heartbroken, man. I couldn't focus on anything because I do love the guy. Like you could see yesterday when he said they're not gonna get any break. They like for what? What are they gonna get a break for? For losing? You can see the guy is a winner, man. And if the way that they described the way that they broke that to him, it's heartbreaking, man. It is heartbreaking because at the end of the day, it brings me back to the moment when they asked him like, how are you gonna make it if there is sanctions and you can't? He's like, as long as we have a bus and
Stop
we,
it, man. You're about
and
to.
we can make it to the game, we can play. And it hurts you, and it hurts us as fan, right? But at the same time, we gotta listen. We gotta look at it from a club point of view, man. And business is a fucking cutthroat industry, man. You know, it's all smiles in front of the camera, but you never know what's gonna happen backstage. Man.
Oh,
You
God
say,
damn
you
it,
say
man.
business though, but I still think Todd Bowley jumped the gun way too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is business, Chris. It is business.
Yeah,
Cody is
but-
not,
Sorry,
he's not
Jim.
Tuchel's friend. He's not Tuchel's friend.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
only
Doesn't
5
know him
points
like
behind
But
Klopp.
part of it,
There is
but
no
part of
emotional
it-
connection with him. You know,
But
if
part of
it's-
it-
As
Chris,
bad
is
form as he
also-
is, Kai, he's still 5 points behind Arsenal, who
But
are
Chris,
like amazing form.
But
let's face it, yeah, the fans don't have any risk. They don't have any risk in. They haven't paid their own money. Tuchel invested. I mean, sorry, Bowley invested in this. Other than emotional connection in the club, a lot of us are not that financially independent. People can say, "Oh yeah, I have a season ticket," but that's what 3,000 pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2,000
What's
pounds a year.
3,000, sorry?
What is that?
£1,000. Like,
Yeah, what is that? To a multi-billion club, you know, when you invest millions. So, you know, it's heartbreaking.
crumbs.
But yeah, from a business point of view, I can't really like.
But like, even as a business point of view, don't you need, like, if you're gonna invest all this money into the club, don't you need time to let that investment grow? This man has.
I think
don't-
Marshall,
He got
I
to hug Aubameyang once, Kai.
I don't think it's as sudden as people think it is.
yeah, it isn't.
Because apparently they already spoke to a director of football, right? This Scott guy, I don't believe that he just walked in, like randomly, just decided, hey, today I don't want a job, right? Like in the middle of fucking pandemic, in the middle of inflation, nobody just like leaves their position for the sake of it, right? So I think there's a lot. I think the club was already planning something, and I think that the way that we started the season.
Agree. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you
Gabriel,
need
Do you mind? Can I just? Sorry, I hate
Yeah,
to
real
interrupt
quick,
people. Can you hear
Gabriel.
me?
I did want you to have your say, man.
listen,
Yeah, we can
listen,
hear you
boys,
now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And
But
thanks for being on the channel, man.
probably
You've been
most
here
of
for
the
a
day
minute,
I've
so
bounced.
big up you.
I've bounced from stream to stream all day, and when I first heard early morning around 10:05, I actually thought it was a joke, and then obviously when I saw it was a real CFC website Twitter handle, I was shocked. You know, I've never been Tuchel out, but the more I've reflected over the last day, and the more I've read about it, I think it partly was a personality clash. Again, it could be brown envelope, journalists, as we know a certain Johnny would say. It could be that. But
Let's go
One, reading between the lines.
But it is
hang on.
He's a brown envelope.
All right, fair enough.
Continue.
Yeah. Look, reading between the lines, there was clearly something going on in the background, the way the players performed. But aside from that, I'm actually really excited by the Todd B future, because historically, if you look at his American ownership of baseball clubs, he gives coaches time, he invests in them, he wants them involved. Tuchel, to me, I love the guy. Again, I'm not going to slag him off. He's a bit like a Jose, a bit of a prickly character, a bit of a sort of, demanding type of person, falls out with players, throws players under the bus, which we've seen recently, going back to pre-season. There was definitely something going on early doors. And the irony of ironies is, what do most Chelsea fans want? Longevity. We want a long-term coach. And that is exactly what Todd B wants. But he couldn't see. Hang on. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
He could. I'm going to bail out in a sec. Yeah. He couldn't see that connection. He couldn't see that long-term connection with Tuchel, because Tuchel was just arm's length. I just want to coach, which is good. That's a proud sort of way of approaching your job. But it seems like the Todd B, he's used to that engagement. Apparently, again, reading an article I think Matt Law wrote in the Telegraph, he set up a WhatsApp group. Yeah, let's go after these signings. And apparently he was a bit distant from it, and he didn't want to know. Do you know what I mean? So I think overall, I honestly think this is a positive turning point, and I'm drooling over the prospect of someone like Potter, because he's exactly a long-term type of manager that we probably have been craving for years. And another point, I'll just leave you with this thesis.
Oh.
Roman equals short-term managers, right? We know that historically.
Yeah.
So now we've got Todd. Todd historically is long-term managers. So why are we going all after Todd B, slagging the new group?
Yeah.
When historically, if Tuchel was under Roman, we know he probably would have been on very shaky grounds by now. All right, so I'm going to go, brothers. Come on,
Thank you for coming on, Gabriel. Come back on, man. Let's have you on more often, brother.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been so depressed, I've retreated to a monk's retreat. Hence my.
Me too, man. Me too. I don't even.
On his point though, it's ironic, right? Because and this is just the reports, so we can't, it's weird. Tuchel's reluctance, or it seems to be. You would expect that under maybe the old regime. Do you know what I mean? With he's going to be. He's not planning for long. He's going to be, he's going to be fired in a minute. Not this new regime. We've seen, it's a new regime. It's a new. They're willing to, they want to work with you. Do you know what I mean? They want to make the change. They want to make sure you put your stamp on this club. That's what I kept saying. Put your stamp on this club. Okay, just have an honest and say, okay, well, I don't do this. I don't do that. I really want to do this. But then just be more communicative about it. We're already starting off from last place because of the takeover. Then the Marina, Peter Cech and Buck happened, and obviously he was very close with Marina and Peter. But you would have thought, okay, this is different even from PSG. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna listen. These are the profile players I want. I don't care about the names. Profile player, go get them like that. But what you're reading is really. That's why I say to people, it's not just about the football we're playing. Mm-hmm. It's everything else about his job in there.
But don't you guys think the bigger the club, the more politics are involved in the club? Because I think I don't know because I've been in a lot of football channels, like the Football Terrace. I've been on other channels like Eunice and whatever. So I know a few people, right? I'm not gonna say I'm in the know, but I know people who know people around that stuff, right? And a lot of them told me that Chelsea have the Chelsea group that we have players and it's a lot of them are also the Cobham kids who made it, the graduates.
Yeah.
They didn't like Tuchel because they wanted to play a different role that he was putting them. He was playing them out of positions.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see.
Totally.
A proof of that in their messages to him. You can see that somebody pushed him to say those messages. But the fact is, the one thing that I disagree with you guys, I don't think that Roman didn't want a long-term manager. I just think he had really high standard of what he wanted for Chelsea. So as soon as he saw a little bit of a glimpse of failure, he didn't want to continue with it. But if he had somebody like a Pep, where he for example, gave him 5 Premier Leagues out of 6 or 7, I think he would keep him. But the issue with Roman was, and that's where I think Tuchel is kind of not Tuchel, sorry, Ball is doing something different. He's actually trying to change the whole of the backstage, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different. So for me, as upset I am with Tuchel because I love Tuchel,
Yeah.
I do think that there was something there when it was like I try to look at it from an objective point of view, from a fan, like I told you, and from the club point of view, right? How many of us can say that we actually improved on the pitch, right? On the pitch,
I agree.
I agree.
since the Champions League final. Yeah, we have much better players, but I don't think we improved, and it heartbreaks me because I
I don't
love
know about
Tuchel.
you, Kai.
And there's yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
I don't know about you, Kai. I believe this, right? Someone takes over. They usually a business takes. They want to bring their own people in, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they keep a few people in there and go for a transition period. I believe in this instance, they thought, you know what, we're going to keep Tuchel.
Yeah.
He's been the face of the brand, basically. The Chelsea fans love him. A big portion love him. He's done well under the thing, and tried to work with him. But they were probably getting this feedback or this response that they weren't expecting, and in everything. And then on the pitch, things started to happen. They're probably getting feedback. They're probably seeing stuff because they've been to Cobham a lot. Probably seeing stuff on the training field. They're getting feedback from players and other stuff and everything like that. And they just thought, do you know what? We need to get our own. We need to get our own
And
guy.
the way we started didn't help. The way we started pre-season, that didn't help.
And
people
Kai,
say, "Oh, it's only pre-season," but I don't think it's only pre-season. Losing
Kai,
4-0 to your rival.
But Kai, if you remember from that game, I think it's it heightened for me with the players then when he said what he said was pretty true, right? But once you say it, once you take the genie out of the bottle, it's done, right? When he said, "What do you expect? I've still got the same players. I've still got the same players." You can't get that dressing room back when you do that. You just can't do it.
But what blows my mind is what Kai brought up earlier about, you know, these Cobham kids and their pulling power and stuff. I just, it doesn't make logical sense to me how, because you could already assume that, like, amongst those people are, you know, Gilmore, Mount, of course, James, Rice, or whoever the fuck, right? Mason was playing every single game, despite bad form and in his position. Yeah. So, like, it's just like, and that's the other thing. And hold on, guys. And despite these players being played out of position, okay, you could say Reece James at right wing back was being played out of position, but isn't this the best Reece James we've seen? Even though he played right back before, like in right wing back position is probably his best position. He was scoring goals, getting assists. It's confusing, man. It's so confusing.
When I figured out Mount doesn't like playing in there. When they asked him what's your favorite position, like if you enjoy playing attacking midfield, and he said, "Oh, I will play whatever the manager want me to play, but my natural position is center midfield." You remember when he said that comment? Yeah. That is the comment that I know he's not gonna be happy playing, and he's been playing there for 2 years. He can. For me, you know my thought about Mount. I think he's extremely overrated. I think there's a lot of flaws in his game, and he's turning 24 soon. So he's no longer that, oh my God, he's a generational talent or whatever. Right? That's not important. But the fact that how he's been performing in the last 9 or 8, like if he was playing for Pep, he would be on the bench 100%. Right? Pep or Klopp, he would be
rotational, I reckon.
But with him, he was insisting with him. So but I'm not surprised, but I do realize at the end of the day, if you're doing your job and you're not enjoying your job, you're not gonna be happy about it. And that's how fucking Lampard got sacked as well, which is funny to me. Like these guys just want everything to be rosy, which is it never happened at the big club. It's always gonna be politics.
I just think,
sorry.
Go ahead, Ahmed. And then Assad,
I just think from what I've read and everything, it seems to be the main thing, at least from the owner's point of view, is they thought that, you know, he'd be more interactive with them, and they wanted to build something with him in it. And particularly, I feel like the WhatsApp group is quite indicative of some of the stuff that they were talking about. And I'm very surprised though by that, because like Tuchel, he had a chance here where he could have gotten all of the players that he wanted. If he was more, you know, talkative with the board, they could have had discussions with him, and a lot of stuff could have happened that could have gone his way initially. But it's just that bit was really confusing to me. And the second bit.
This whole
about-
thing is confusing to me. But yeah, continue. I'm like,
And then there's the second bit of the players in it. Yeah, we know that a lot of these players, they have power in it. Let's be honest. Yeah, and I wanted that at least for once we back the manager instead of these players in it.
Yes.
And that is something that I've always banged on about, because if we keep on doing this hiring and firing, and now we've got Potter, imagine 18 months Potter has a little down period.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
We're just
I
back
don't
to
know
square
about
one.
It might
We'll just
not
be
even
back to
last that
square
long.
one. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying to you, though, it will be just be back to square one again.
Hey, the way Klopp is going, you never know. man.
Oh,
hey, Club, you can come to Chelsea. I don't mind.
In Discord, yeah, Klopp gets sacked and we get Klopp and they get Tuchel.
You already have a Milner.
Oh no,
now.
they can have Graham Potter. I don't want Tuchel going to fucking Liverpool. Fuck them.
Yeah, baby.
You're gonna go Real Madrid to win
Slowly.
people.
But I just want to say this, and then aside, I want to let you speak because I know we have people in the backstage. I want to make sure you guys come on and have your say. But I like what throws me off is that on one hand there's this people going about saying that there was a collision of ideas between Tuchel and Bowley, and that Tuchel was upset that Bowley didn't want Ronaldo. But at the same, people are fiddling the same tune that apparently none of these are Tuchel signings except for Aubameyang. So it's like, okay, well, if you were signing players regardless of whether or not Tuchel wanted them, then why don't you just get Ronaldo if you wanted it? And then why is this news coming out that because Tuchel didn't want Ronaldo, like Gordon, Tuchel didn't want Gordon, Tuchel didn't want Ronaldo? It's so confusing. So it's like hard to say what's true, what's not, and who's signing is who and all that. And it's just
Koulibaly at this point, I'm confused.
It's just the only one that seems that it may be Tuchel signing is Aubameyang. That's it. And even that doesn't make sense, because why would you sign Aubameyang for a 2-year contract if you wanted Ronaldo? You could have gotten Ronaldo. Ronaldo would have, obviously been the better striker and brought you all these.
I don't know if Tuchel and Aubameyang is like, yeah, they played with each other, but you could argue the same thing was said about Pulisic.
I think
Aubameyang was a more mobile Cristiano Ronaldo deal that is short term, that is good for us. I think the club, it could have been a club signing, because if you remember, we were linked with Aubameyang before we even had Tuchel. It's not necessarily that goes hand in hand with it. And I think a lot of people just put them together,
And now look at Aubameyang. He's all lonely now without Tuchel. You know what I'm saying? So
Alvarez. Do you think Alvarez was something that Tuchel wanted, or was that like a club?
it's probably Bowley. It's probably Bowley at this point.
And we know that 2 weeks ago, if they wanted Tuchel out from 2 games ago, and they've been searching since then, Alvarez signing might even be like either a Potter signing or even even someone else, or even like a Bowley signing. So it's strange, isn't it, man?
It is very strange. Assad, how you doing, my? Well, I know how you're doing, but mate, what do you got to say about this whole situation, brother?
Bro, I'm
Speak.
perplexed, man. I'm confused.
I think we all are, man.
Now,
If you don't laugh, you cry, man. That's the point right now.
Now, bro, what happened? Imagine today.
Yeah.
I was chilling in the morning. A friend messaged in a WhatsApp group. Chelsea sacked Thomas Tuchel. I thought he was saying that Chelsea should sack Thomas Tuchel. Yeah. So I go on Twitter now, and I see we got sacked. I was like, what? What? Listen, I'm not gonna come in here and pretend like I was his biggest fan in it. I wasn't. For me, I lost faith after we lost to Southampton last week. That was when I said, yo, this is enough, man. Like, the football's dire. You can't get the best out of players. Like, and when you check it, who's he really improved apart from James? You get me? Yeah, man, that's the thing.
I mean, you could argue, Chilwell. You could argue
Chilwell's always good.
Rudiger.
Defenders,
But was Chilwell better under Lampard or was he better under Tuchel?
No, bro.
Tuchel.
Listen, guys, listen. Yeah, Chilwell has always been.
That's
good,
because
bro.
Lampard was a bum as a manager.
Bro, the thing is, Chilwell has always been a good attacking left back. Even at Leicester, Chilwell can attack. The only difference is that Tuchel gave him more of a license to attack. It's not like he improved his technical ability.
Agree to disagree on that. I think Tuchel definitely improved a lot of
That's
things.
not fair. I think Chilwell is good defensively as well. I think a lot of people underrate his.
He's so underrated. I keep saying it, bro. Chilwell's very good, bro. For me,
I don't know. Half the Chelsea fan base shit on him now because we've got Cucurella.
Bro, I think he's better.
That's because he's English, man. That's because he's English. They
I get it.
if he was Chelino, they would love him.
Exactly.
And Chilwell's proven it. He's still still good after his injury. Like he can still like go in there and like do a good game.
Or Benito.
And I kind of feel like with Tuchel, he doesn't know what he really wants. Like this window, he got given everything going his way, and the guy panicked on the final day. Pardon?
Did he though?
I don't know,
like, were those his picks?
Apparently he wanted De Jong. Apparently he wanted De
Ligt.
He wanted
De Ligt,
the previous Ajax team. And
I think he wanted Koulibaly. In all fairness, I think that's.
I think he wanted to go to Ajax for take over 10 6.
You know what this Zakaria signing reminds me of? If we use context as well, that Papa Jubi signing, man. That Papa Jubi signing. You remember that was the end. That's the end of. And apparently Mourinho said it in the hallways, like, I ask you to give me Pogba, you give me Papa Jubi or something like that.
Assad, did you want to say anything else, Assad, or are you done?
I'm just saying, yeah. I know for a fact that there's not a single person on this panel that trusts his talent ID. No one believed that Tuchel could turn it around. Who here believed that he could turn around and get us back to where we belong?
Honestly,
I did.
I'm his biggest fan. I wanted to give me the benefit of the doubt, but when I looked at it objectively, I was like, have we really improved since the Champions League? I love Tuchel, yeah.
But like,
every team
go ahead.
Every team he managed played nice football, until he came to this fucking manager killing, attacking killing, starter fucking decaying club, man. And then he just completely went he just became a stretched out Antonio Conte with a receding hairline, man.
Let's face it. Let's be honest. Apart from the Champions League run, October to early December last season, and maybe March, April, a bit of
last season, yeah.
The football has been overly not that
Horrible.
good.
Now the first 10 months,
and now we can't defend as well. That's what you built his team on. We can't even defend.
Yeah.
We had
That's
two
the thing.
counterattacks.
We should have got through to
counter-attack
semi-finals as
goals
well.
last season. Two counterattacks. The whole season we had two counterattack goals. Two counterattacks.
You love your counterattacks.
Because every fucking big club.
But the way we play, it's just like pass, cross.
Possession.
And no
But they still had
creativity in midfield.
counterattacks.
And still no creativity in midfield.
But like, the thing is with Tuchel, like the reason I was gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and give him time to turn it around. Well, sure, I'm a relationship man, but the thing is, like, when have we ever properly backed Tuchel? He's been stuck with this Frank Lampard team since he's joined the club. You think Romelu Lukaku was backing Tuchel?
I think
he definitely accepted it.
You
know what I could say to that?
Stop.
But I can't accept now that this thing. Wait until he gets these players. He's been in nearly 2 years. And he still picks some of the same players Lampard did.
Exactly, bro.
And it's like,
that's how football works.
These are your players now. These are your players. You've been
Nobody
there
has
2 years.
A full 11 of the players that they want. Even Klopp, look what he did at Liverpool. He still doesn't have the 11 that he wants.
But yeah, when Klopp first joined the club, it took him a long time to get to top 4 race.
Yeah, but why do you not?
His first season was top 8, wasn't it?
Klopp first 3 seasons at Liverpool, he won the Premier League.
3 seasons?
The Premier League, the Champions League. Yeah, the first 3 seasons.
No, he won 15-16, he arrived.
Yeah.
16-17, he got Champions League. Next season, Champions League final. Then won the Champions League, and then after that, the league, and then.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say like Tuchel isn't to blame for anything. Obviously, Tuchel has a lot to blame for, right? Because of the stubbornness and the tactics. Why are you playing Mason Mount on the pivot?
Was on the floors when Klopp came in as well. So
Fair enough. I understand that 100%. But I just think it's unfair that in Tuchel's reign, the first season he won the Champions League. The season after that, he doesn't get really any players that he could possibly want to improve this squad. He still has to play Mason. No, let me just land real quick. He still has to play Mason. He still has to play all these players that are deadwood. Has a bloated squad of deadwood players. We're doing good up until Romelu Lukaku opens his big fucking mouth. Then all of a sudden, we just start fucking spiraling downwards like a fucking helicopter on fire, and then we get sanctioned. That's just not a proper season to give Tuchel for me. He didn't have a proper season.
I understand that, but the sanctions happened not during a transfer window, after a transfer window.
The season was done.
It was season. You know what I mean? It was still him picking the tactics and everything like that. We weren't after the Real Madrid second end game. The performances and results after that were trash.
Yeah, no, I agree.
this
I agree.
season.
I agree.
And I
We
just
were
don't-
trash
and
before
also,
the
I think it's very
transfers,
important. We need
before
to
the
remember,
sanctions. Sorry.
as soon as he threw those players under the bus, he lost the dressing room
You had to,
completely.
yeah.
You think so?
He lost them.
Yeah.
They were done.
They guaranteed he's lost
Right.
criticism Ziyech. Like there's no doubt
Yeah,
in my
guaranteed.
mind.
Yeah,
Pulisic and
100%.
Ziyech in my mind.
Yeah.
From what I've been hearing, apparently even some of the Cobham guys, he's had a fallen out with. Like Chalobah apparently have had.
Yeah, but
Wasn't
nobody
that-
cares if Chalobah falls out. He just
I know, but I don't care. But
Let's just leave for all I care, though.
Bro,
to
if
be
somebody
honest
comes
with
to
you.
me, if I was Todd Bowley and Chalobah comes to me and he's like, I'm not happy with Thomas Tuchel, he's like, all right, you
Okay.
can be the quarantine lady. Nobody cares, bro.
All right, ladies and gents, Assad, I gotta make room for some people in the backstage, but thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and let Declared on stage. Declared, what you saying, brother?
I gotta go to Marshall. Declared.
Hey, thank you for coming on. Even though we want you to stay, we want you to
Kai
stay.
doesn't like what I gotta say. I feel.
Declared,
I
I
think
swear,
it's okay.
I swear
He
it's
hates
not
you.
you, it's me. I just gotta go do something. Now.
It's me.
Yes, I know it's one of those.
He's rehearsed that line. You hear that? He said that line so many times in the past. Kai.
Hey, Kai, that's what Tuchel heard this morning.
Ah, come on, Andrew, they're gonna come for you, Andrew. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Oh my goodness.
Take care.
All right, Kai, thanks for coming on, mate.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Cheers, bro.
I'll try. I'll try. I'm depressed right now. I'm not eating. All right. Well, now that Kai dropped that, I can add one more person. Jimmy, stay back there, man. I'll let you on in a bit. All right, brother. But Declare, what you saying, brother?
Thanks, over. On the first time, Andrew knows what I'm gonna say.
I'll be back in half an
I
hour.
have a feeling I know what you're gonna say because I did see you earlier on fucking Lewis's stream. But let's go.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, but
A lot can change in
there's
6
probably-
hours.
There is, because there's more coming out, and
Okay.
the more that comes out, the more I hate it, because I mean it's coming out like, where can I even start? I mean, my biggest criticism of Bowley when that whole race was happening on who was going to be our owner was that he really didn't know much about football, right? But apparently he's going to bring his experts in, and you know he's data centric and all this, and now it's coming out that he's walking around like Brad Pitt with Jonah Hill, like in Moneyball, and he's wanted to do all these signings. That's what he said. So I was under the impression that all these were Tuchel signings, but it doesn't sound like that no more. And it really comes down to, right? I think Bowley just wanted a yes man. I think Potter is his yes man. The guy that's just going to nod his head and say, yeah. When Tuchel said, no, I don't want so-and-so. And they told him to get out. What? I don't, the timing and everything I don't get, right? It doesn't make sense. And if you got rid of Czech, Marina, over that, tell Tuchel, yeah, I want my yes man. Get out of here. But Potter's a massive gamble as well. I mean, there's been heaps of managers that come and they do great things in smaller clubs. Poch was one of those. No one's Poch now. But do people remember what Poch did, you know, with smaller clubs? He was great. Everyone was saying Poch was one of the best managers. Sorry, Chris?
He got them to the Champions League final.
He got Tottenham to Champions League final.
No one's Poch.
Right?
Fair enough.
But you know, I mean, and like everyone's making. I heard a lot. I couldn't believe what when I actually joined what Gabriel was saying earlier. He was saying Bowley gives managers time. Obviously not, right? We're trying to learn about our manager, and we just learned something that he's more ruthless than Roman. He wants a yes man. My problem is that Bowley thinks. I think Bowley thinks he knows. He knows better than a lot of people in the game. I think Todd Bowley thinks he's gonna do bits. He knows how to do transfers now.
To be fair, Declared, you gotta admit, like, if Tuchel's coming out and saying that he was upset that we didn't get the lick, you also got to raise eyebrows at the lick when we have players like Koundé that are drooling to come to Chelsea and other quality players. Like, why the lick? Why is the lick so important to you? And like, you know how much he's going for. Why? Like, it's also like at the same time. Here's my issue with it. if player selection, if team selection was going to be an issue, then why didn't we prioritize getting a director of football from the jump instead of trying to manhandle it yourself, even if it's an interim director of football?
Exactly, and that's what I've been saying. At least get a director of football, and at least get a manager that you want from the get-go. Have a plan from the get-go. Not spend all this money on Tuchel. And you guys were talking about maybe the players. You know, apparently it's come out that it wasn't the results alone. If
No, I said
Bowley's
that
been
to you,
walking,
didn't I?
yeah.
I said that.
So
I
if
said that
Bowley's
to
been
you,
going
didn't I?
around talking to players and saying, "What do you think of Tuchel?" And of course, I mean, his player. My biggest hate for so many years of the Roman, right? And I thought it was gone now with Bowley. Player power. Player power seems like it's back, and Bowley's given a lot of players that that reassurance now. Don't worry, I'm gonna back you.
Declared. What do you say to a couple of reports coming out tonight that the DOF will be announced shortly, and they had some part in wanting.
That's baffling me. That is baffling me.
As well. That's another question.
Andrew, it doesn't make sense. Why not do that, right? If you had
Why not do that 3
saying-
months ago? If this was an issue,
apparently he had a
not do it
DOF
3 months
advising me. Apparently had some analyst he wanted Gordon. So we what Marshall said, he wanted Delete. We were all given the impression, right? And maybe Bowley didn't want to sack him because he just came in, right? He thought the fans would turn on him. Let me drag this along, and so now it's all a PR stunt. And I hate I hate that even more now because he was too afraid to lose the fans from the get-go. So I'm just going to let it go a bit, and then when some people were too called out, I'm going to sack him straight away.
And
you never
also,
gave him an opportunity.
quickly,
You didn't get the players that he wanted, right? So we were kind of deceived in a way. And now if Bowley thinks that he knows a lot, right, and he's going to make all these decisions in a game that he's never, we're probably in for a ride now. And if he's going to go for managers that only say yes to him, then we're going to miss out on a lot of top managers.
Well,
because that's what Potter looks like.
But I presume though, that let's be open-minded and subjective on this. All right, I know we are all still we're all emotional about this and trying to think logically as well, and that's fine. We're supposed to be a football fans. What there was to say that the DOF gets announced sometime in the next few days, that then he then says, okay, I'm going to take all the football decisions from you. Essentially, I'm going to take my guidance from the DOF. Essentially, you're in charge, essentially, of the football side of things, and I just supply the money and deal with the other side. That could happen as well. Because there's no way, I'm sorry, there's no way someone's going to convince me he wanted to do this, but he's only decided to do like everything, the transfers, with Marina and Peter Cech going. He only decided to do it that way. Because it was a transition to get them to help him, or they take control over the summer, right? There was obviously a discussion about transfer targets, who to sell. He didn't obviously want I don't know whether he wanted Lukaku to stay or not. Tuchel, that's not been 100% confirmed. I know Marina and Cech wanted him to stay. Obviously, that's a big ego crusher of letting him go.
Yeah, obviously.
I hope now. My hope is that when they announce the DOF, they go, I'm going to leave everything here. I'm going to leave all the football to the transfer. All you need from us is how much. So you and Potter, this is your side, essentially. Do and leave it like that. That is my hope. Whether we see it or not, and I can understand people are going to say, I don't think it will happen. I can totally understand where they're coming from after today. But that's my hope going forward.
I just hope it's not the start of the new Glazers.
There you go, Danos. I was just about to come to you. Declare, just stay on the panel for a minute, because I want you to stay for a minute. Danos, what do you got to say, brother? Because you've been here for a minute.
I ain't really got much to say, to be honest. Like, everyone's pretty much like...
Express your emotions, Danos.
Well,
You're on the panel.
What can I say? What can I say? I mean, I found...
Cry for me. Do something, bro.
I was so close earlier to crying, honestly.
Yesterday.
I was literally at work, right, and I was helping a customer, and my phone notified me that, like, got a notification. I go out back quick. I see the news. I honestly, I just wanted to go home at that point. my supervisor was like, "You're right," and I'm like, "Nah, Tommy T's
Dude.
gone." What do you mean?
But these lot over here, I wanted to go to sleep. Listen, I went to hit my snooze button. I see 2 WhatsApp messages. Both of these guys telling me to change the title, and then Will telling me, I can't believe Tuchel got sacked. I got to go on YouTube to declare it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't get my extra sleep in because the first thing I woke up to was with Tommy Tuchel getting sacked. So, oh man, it's peak. It's peak.
At least I had like 3 hours prepared, like for that to happen.
Go on,
You ruined my day, bro. It started my day.
I was up at 7 a.m. So like, you know, at least I had 3 hours, and then I see it like, you know, Chelsea like post something. Chelsea post something on my notifications, and then you see like, yeah, Thomas Tuchel sacked, and it's like, what? Like, it can't be fake. Mess up. Like, someone else is gone. Someone else is sacked.
Yeah, I was in a meeting. I was in a meeting when it happened, so I didn't know until after 2 hours later. So it was a bit of a shock, bro. That's what I was
it's
hey man,
it's peak.
This ain't one of those things. Where was I when this happened? I don't want to do that.
I
Where were you when Thomas Tuchel was sacked? I remember the day fondly.
You know what? A lot of us might remember where we were because of how shocking it was.
Oh my goodness. No, seriously, no, I agree with that. But Danos, did you have something to say? By the way, anyone that was already on the panel wants to come back, feel free to come back. We're just doing by order of who's coming in. So I do want to keep rotating. So Danos, if you want to come back later, you can for sure. But did you want to add something right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, basically, I mean, with the way things sort of seem like they're going and have been going, it's just, do you think this is just like Todd making this his club? Like just showing authority and just saying, look, this is what I need to do. This is my vision going forward. This is how it's going to be.
So this is like Kai said earlier. I think this is a really good point. I think one of the things I've come to like rationalize is it's very, very, very possible that Bowley came into this club and he wants a certain vision. He wants everything to be his choice, his picks, his team. So I think, unfortunately, Thomas Tuchel, he was going to see it out. Maybe this is what happened, boys. Maybe he wanted to get the ownership of the club. He claims to be a Chelsea fan. I don't know. I think that's all a PR stunt now. But maybe he wanted to meet Thomas, to talk with Thomas, try to work with him and see where it went. And once he saw that there was a lot of disagreements in vision, he realized that, okay, I'm going to finish the transfer business. And once I'm done doing transfer business, Tommy, you're out. I'm getting someone else. I think it's very possible that that's what happened. You know,
I think
maybe
every intention of people trying to work with Tuchel. I think they had that. They had everything like that because I just don't believe they would have spent. Well, they would have spent money, but you know I believe Thomas Tuchel wanted most of these players. The way he bigged up Sterling, I believe he wanted Sterling.
Oh yeah.
I believe he wanted Koulibaly and Fofana. Cucurella, I don't know. I want Cucurella because I think he's good. I don't know if you want
Cucurella was probably an opportunity buy.
Aubameyang, yes. I don't know whether he wanted Sakaria because he didn't bring him on last night for anything. So I don't. And reports coming out, he wanted to get rid of Broja as well. He didn't want Broja.
Well, he didn't say he wanted to get rid of him, but he didn't mind.
He didn't want Billy Gilmore. He's gone. So we'll probably sign him next summer if Potter's still there. So it's all good.
40 mil, yeah, 40 mil.
40 mil, yeah.
No, we're going to see some crazy things in January. We're going to see him coming back, and we're going to see Lukaku come back as well. And it's just
stop with the Lukaku. Run back.
Does anyone want to bet that somehow our DM/6 target switches from Edson Alvarez to that Caicedo from Brighton? That it switches. Does anyone want to bet that?
You reckon that could happen?
Well, don't you think that it's always lazy story in journalism that it links to the former club?
Yeah. It's always common to see
I think we're going to get linked to a few Brighton players. So.
I hope we don't get linked to a lot because let's be honest,
Brighton, the whole team.
They are got decent.
It's not your money.
Let's
just say it's not our money.
I wouldn't be surprised if only get linked to Caicedo, but I'm pretty sure if the rumors are to be true that
right.
But one of his But Ahmed, did you read one of his backroom stuff? He's going to bring like that his recruiter or something like that.
I said to you before, I have a feeling that Alvarez is a club signing, which is probably going to happen.
Probably.
And Caicedo might be one of the other ones. If they really want to bring in from Brighton, he's the guy they might bring to the club. I could see that happening.
Yeah, come on, match the lights.
Yeah.
Come on, let's match the
Guys,
lights.
come on, smash that like button. A few of you are watching, you're entertained, you're here because you want to know what's happening, you want to know how we feel. Make sure you smash that like button, please. Real you are. Real quick, Danos, do you mind if I put you backstage and let someone else in?
Perfectly fine. Let someone else jump on for a bit.
Okay, because Jimmy has a few things he wants to say. Thank you so much for coming on, Danos. You can come back on when I have more room. Just chill backstage if you want, or do whatever you want, man. You're a free man.
Can get more people on as well.
Yes. All right, Jimmy, you're here, man. I hope that yeah, you know what, Jimmy, I'll let you go on, man. Go, do your thing.
Y'all can hear me? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let me ask you a question, right? Is Tuchel a big game manager?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you know he's 1-3 in finals, right?
Yep.
He's got 5 finals.
Yes.
He's 1-3 in
technically
finals.
3-3 or 3-6.
No, that's like real finals.
Super Cup and
real finals.
All right, Jimmy doesn't want to be shameless. Jimmy doesn't want to be shameless.
Listen. Let me get this out.
Yeah, get him.
I was just as shocked as everybody else. I get up 3 o'clock in the morning for work. 1 hour into work, I saw that we sacked Thomas Tuchel.
Right.
So I was just as shocked. But after all this time, I can't even count the amount of spliffs I've smoked for the day. I can
call him Jimmy Split for nothing.
Listen, I can see why they got rid of him. Let's talk Turkey, right? We got 7 wins in our last 22 games. 7 wins in our last 22 games. And you don't want to start naming some of the teams we did not beat. I'm not even going to get to that. I don't care what players was on the pitch, who was playing what. 7 wins in our last 22. All right. Let's go to a next level. Apparently, he started to fall out with the players, which is not the worst thing in the world when you have a little clout, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't fall out with your boss. I mean, you guys could say Todd Bowley, this, and this. It's your boss. You have a new boss. You cannot go into it and I'm going to do things my way. No, it's been reported by many sources that all they wanted him to do was to explain to them. He felt like he didn't have to. Excuse me? You have to explain. If your boss comes and say, I want Ronaldo, tell me why you don't. You have to tell. You can't look at him and say, who are you to I'm your boss. Even if I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you got to tell me. You can't feel there's no job in this world that you can think you're above the person that pays you. You can't. That doesn't work. It just can't work, right? And then let's get to the football, because I don't even care about all the politics and all of that. We look terrible, bro. I watched us against with Borat. Who I think that's where Borat come from, Zenit Zagreb, whatever. Borat FC.
He's from Kazakhstan, I'm pretty sure.
You got in prison. You got in prison, and you're getting.
Listen. That was embarrassing, yes. And you know. All right, it's like, bro. It's like It's like being in a relationship, and after a while, when your woman do something and it doesn't hurt anymore, you realize this is over with. I didn't. When they countered us and scored, I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't cuss. I realized that I didn't care anymore. Our next game for me, I live in America, bro. I live on the East Coast in America. That game comes on 7
East Coast, let's go.
30.
All right, I'm sorry. I had to.
7:30. You know how I already said to myself, I am not watching the Fulham game.
I understand.
You and listen, and I know a lot of y'all might not know. I'm an NFL fan. My team is the Giants. NFL starts Sunday.
Good.
And I already plan on missing the first game, bro.
Yeah.
That's how bad we are.
Yeah.
When
Jose
we
can
reach
relate
to
to
the
you.
point where I plan on making something else with my time, I know within myself it's probably time for a big change. And I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When I saw that we got Graham Potter, and then I saw a report that the DOF that's coming in might have had a say in Graham Potter. It fits right into the mold of American sports, bro.
Yeah.
Tuchel was given a chance and he blew it.
Yep.
But Todd Bowley already had a contingency plan. In American sports, they don't fire you without a contingency plan.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might look at it, oh, he's a snake. It's snakingly. No, it's actually brilliant. If you look at what he's doing, he brought in class players. Don't think that Graham Potter's going to need 10 players to do what he now wants to do. He's not going to need that. We have talent.
Yep.
We have talent. We have a talented team. Look at what Graham Potter has been able to do. He's been able to make some top teams look very silly. And that's with Danny fucking Welbeck. Danny Welbeck. Like, as much as I don't like Kai right now, he's better than Danny Welbeck, bruv. He's better than Welbeck. As bad as his form is off and all of that, Potter, if we get in Graham Potter, I'm going to sit back and just watch what it's going to look like after World Cup is done.
Jimmy, again, is spot on. I want Jimmy, whenever we do these shows, jump on, bro. But I'm just saying, it's like, I agree. Do you know what I did? As a collective, I don't like this Chelsea team, our squad. As a collective, I like certain individuals. As a collective, I don't like them. I just don't. They just don't give me any.
They have no vibes.
Any joy. Something like that.
They don't mesh.
Even under Mourinho, some of Mourinho's football, I liked still that team. Even though sometimes they didn't play well. Even, I still like that team. But this team, this team's won the European Cup, remember? Well, most of them, right?
Yeah.
Just as a collective, I don't like them. I don't feel for them as I should. Do you know what I mean? I'm angry at them when they don't perform well, but I don't. I feel no connect. I don't feel a deep connection with them like I do previous Chelsea teams. It's just, I don't know what it is.
Would the expectation on Potter be pretty high? Because you guys
that's
were saying
the thing.
Tuchel didn't improve players.
I don't.
So Potter's played players out of position at Brighton. That's something everyone was criticising. So everyone said Tuchel didn't improve players. So now we're expecting Potter to improve some players.
But declare real quick before you leave the topic of Potter having to play players out of position. He did it out of necessity, though. He didn't have a squad like what Chelsea has.
As well.
He doesn't have a squad like what Chelsea has. Like I think we all can agree. At times, Tuchel put players out of position that he didn't have to. We're really, it kind of wasn't like, I think, all right, am I the only person that was surprised when he put Ziyech on? I can't be the only person, right?
Yes,
No,
I don't
think-
know
no.
why he puts Ziyech.
I don't know why he plays
He,
Ziyech
he,
anymore.
he put every
I think
attacking
it was
player
out of
on that
necessity
pitch.
as well, though.
And then
But,
play him at right wing back.
but like, okay, all right, me as a
Played like a winger.
fan, right, of all the talent of all the online creators, I rarely see the talent creators and all the different platforms in within the Chelsea diaspora agree on a lot of things. It started, and it wasn't group think. We all started to notice the same flaws with Tuchel, and it's even a flaw he kind of admitted to. He doesn't have an answer to the attack. He doesn't have and he kind of admitted it. I don't. So if we don't have world class, he basically is saying, if I don't have the best of the best up front, I'm fucked. And we don't have the best of the best up front, but we do have players that's supposed to that can get on in this league, and he has
Jimmy,
nothing to give them.
How long has that attack been an issue for us?
Oh, what? Even it was an issue for us from Conte.
I understand that. I understand that. But wait. I don't want to go too far out of. We want to keep it on Tuchel, right?
But that problem wasn't. No, that problem wasn't just a Tuchel thing. I mean, that problem was for.
All right,
a lot of
but this
managers.
is.
And I think if any manager came in, that's going to be.
Big up Jem, by the way. If you know, you know.
Hey, Jem. Chasm is actually backing that, and I can't believe it too. So
Stop. Jesus Christ.
So let me declare. Let me see if I can get you to. Let me see how you feel about a few things. Do you agree that Brighton defensively, for the talent that they had, they played pretty good defensively, right? With the three in the back setup, they played pretty decent for the talent he had. All right. Do you agree Brighton attack is better than ours? I'm not talking about the talent. I'm talking about the way they play football.
How they create
chances.
so many
Isn't it better than ours?
Yes.
Isn't it harder to defend Brighton than it is Chelsea?
There's a difference on what their attackers get and what our attackers get.
Which is true.
Brighton, and their attackers see a lot of space, right? They kind of but teams go at him. He's not going to get that luxury at Chelsea if he wants to set up that way.
But hold on. Wait.
So
you
Welbeck, if he gets Welbeck,
hold on. Wait. But you declare. Wait, the problem that we do as fans, we start saying things as if they're facts. You're saying he's not going to get that at Chelsea. You don't know how. You don't know. He might change the tactic. Declare. He might have the sense to say, you know what? Wait.
That comes from
he might have the sense.
Opposition.
But wait, no, he might have the sense to know that these attackers, they need certain amount. We all agreed that we move the ball slow. That's coached. That it's no longer weak. I got tired of blaming Jorginho and blaming. It's clear to me that it's coached to move the ball that slow. That's our main problem with our attack. It's not that we see low blocks. It's when we have the chance to transition, we don't do it. And when you're not doing it, no, we don't. Come on, declare we don't. We move the ball very slow.
If ball slow. I know it might be slow, and people
declare. If there's a thing in American, it's declare. Hold on.
Yeah, I get it. There's an impatience.
No, wait. With coaching, there's a thing. With coaching, you either coaching something.
One at a time.
Declare, you either coaching something or you're allowing it. It's either one of the two. So either Thomas Tuchel was coaching them.
Coach, let me make the point, right? Before you keep going, I agree that it's part of the system and it's coach, right? And it's slow, but it's efficient at times, and it gets you to the third half of the pitch, right? But what happens at the third half of the pitch is that when our attackers get the chances, they don't convert, right? They don't put it. We've seen so many misses. We had no player to score. But you know what we just started to have? We got Aubameyang in for big money, right? Which was pretty sure was Tuchel signing, right? Which he didn't get to use really. Now, Brojo was starting to show some form, right? Now with Havertz playing not as the false nine, as a side, he started to look better. Our attack started to look better. I don't even think Tuchel got to actually use this attack.
But
that
Claire,
we desperately needed for a while. But our biggest problem was converting, not the slow, impatient. And if you think Potter's going to come in and he just play long balls, right? He's got something else to think about it, because teams aren't going to approach us, Chelsea, the same way they approach Brighton. That's why it's a bit risky, right, on what we're going to get on Potter. This could either make Potter a really top manager, or he could become like many before him, like Poch, like Nuno, like Silva. There's heaps that made that leap and failed. There's really little managers that have made it to the top and stayed there. That's why I honestly would rather wait for Klopp. I mean, what's happening in Liverpool?
So Claire, let me ask you this question, right? So if we bring in Potter, right? Say if we bring in Potter and we finish maybe 6th or 7th, right? But he built his ethos and is that any worse with us keeping Tuchel and finish 5th or 6th? Because you can say right now you think we would have finished top 4? Because I can honestly say I can as a Chelsea supporter, lover, fan, only team I ever loved in football, bro. It's not a chance in hell we were finishing top 4.
I mean, don't you think it's too soon to even make that prediction, because we didn't even see Tuchel really play with these players,
I don't think
man?
So. You know why I don't think so? You know why I don't think so?
Jimmy,
because
the
look
proper
at the
question is, would you give Tuchel a chance to turn around?
Was he? But look at where was Tuchel? Where was he heading though? He was. Where was all the arrows pointing?
All right, Jimmy. All right. Let's go with that. And this is what I'm upset about, because we barely know what our new owners are like, right? And so if our new owners aren't going to give managers the chance to turn it around, well, we got something worse than Roman. I mean, if we
but hold on,
so if Potter comes in,
but you got to remember, they didn't bring Tuchel's not their guy. You got to remember that.
That makes it
Tuchel's
worse.
not their guy.
What makes it worse is that if they need a yes man, that we will never have a top class manager.
But that's you projecting. But that's not. But all right, but that's unfair, because now you're projecting. You're projecting that they need a yes man. How do you know that? How do you know they need a yes man?
Let me explain it to you. Because all the reports coming out now, it wasn't based on the results they sacked him. It was based on misunderstanding. So now they want a guy that agrees with them.
So time out, hold on, but wait, but the reports also said that Thomas Tuchel was being distant. Thomas Tuchel was alienating players. We all hated Lampard for that. So what about the wrongs with Tuchel? How's that a yes man?
Did he alienate Pulisic and Ziyech, the ones that he played?
We don't know. That's the problem. We go and we attack the players we don't like. Well, what if it was Reece James? Remember, Reece James just signed a 6. Hold on, wait. Let's talk logic. Reece James just signed a 6-year deal. What if one of his complaints was, I don't like to play right center back? What if that was one of his complaints? What if one of his complaints is, I don't like the way the new coach is?
But the thing is, though,
you're talking about player power now. You know what you're talking about? You're talking
yes,
about
I am. But wait. But hold on.
We are never going to have a
we are talking about player power, but we also have to remember relationships. Declare relationships matter. Wait, Thomas Tuchel. Wait, declare. No, I'm not. I'm explaining relationships. Thomas Tuchel.
You are explaining.
Wait, declare. Was Thomas Tuchel fired 2 times before? Was he fired 2 times before? Yes or no? Let's talk facts now. Was he fired 2 times before?
I'm pretty sure Potter was fired.
No, hold on. Let's just talk facts. What? No, let's talk Tuchel. Was he fired 2 times before? Right? He was fired.
That's left and when he got sacked.
But both times reported he fell out with the boards. Right? Right? Both times he fell out with Dortmund board and he fell out with PSG board. Right?
Yeah.
So he has a history of falling out with boards.
Yeah.
What's the so if does a leopard one day his dots don't just drop off? A zebra
but
stripes don't
what
just
you
fall
proved there,
off.
Jimmy.
The
What you
difference
It's
proved there,
just
is
Jimmy, right? No, Jimmy, you
what
gotta
it
let us talk.
proves is
No.
he's not good working with
Hang on. What you
people.
proved is that
Jimmy.
that
Let declare
yeah.
blank. Go on.
What you proved is that Tuchel disagrees a lot, and he'll go against the board, like Conte, like Mourinho and whatnot, right? And we a lot of top managers like that. I'm sure Klopp and Pepper like that too, right? A lot of top class managers are they don't agree, but now
But
he
disagreement
actually
can go how far?
Jimmy, you got to let me finish here, right? Now he's reports are coming out that he wasn't communicating with us. He wasn't everything that showed that he wasn't disagreeing. That they weren't agreeing with Bowley, right? So now he's actually this part of things been planned for a while. It's happening so quick that it must have been happened weeks ago, or maybe even the season started, right? Potter is a manager that is not in that class, right? The class of managers I just said, he's not in the class. He probably probably if Roman was in, he would never be a Chelsea manager, right? They're getting a manager that is actually happy to get the opportunity, right, to be at Chelsea. So you're getting a manager that will agree with anything you say, right? I'm pretty sure Potter's not going to be there and disagree with a lot of stuff. But I can't wait for Ronaldo to come in and tell him,
But wait, you know why? But hold on, wait. You know why that's not fully true? That he has to fully disagree, because just like every other manager, he's gonna have a contract, and if he gets fired, he has to be paid also. So you can't just come out. See, like I said, you're projecting your negative thoughts into everything, and that's being emotional. I understand it's emotional time. Hold on, wait, declare. I just let you talk. Everything you're projecting is your negative emotions, and I understand because you're looking at it from a negative view. No, but it's all. Emotions. Did you not realize everything you said was negative? Jimmy, you didn't say anything about pot. Wait.
If you can't rebuttal what I said, you don't turn him into negative energies, right? We're not talking about energies. What I told
it's not about energy. Right? I said everything you said was a negative outcome. Didn't you realize everything you said was all bad things that how it could be bad for Chelsea? So everything you just said.
Positive energy. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said everything you just said about everything you just said about bringing in Graham Potter. You said he's going to be a yes man, and this. How do you know that? How do you know that?
I said no. I said Bowley wants a yes man.
But even that, how do you know that? That's what I'm saying. You guys say these things, but where do you get it from?
Well, the
how
reason
do you know he wants a yes man?
I see where the Claire's coming from, because based off of what we know from what we heard reports, there was a lot of head collision. There was a lot of collision of ideas. So when that happens, Jimmy, when that happens, and with the pre-context of that, with this sacking, it just makes it seem that the sacking happened as a result of Bowley not coming to agreements with Tuchel. So when you sack someone, when having that pre-context, it just makes it seem that you want someone whose ideas you're probably going to share with, who can probably build a team. And I'm not saying that's the only reason, right? I personally think that Potter was brought in because his football does look nice. When you see what he's doing with Brighton and putting teams like Man United in the spliff, beating teams like Brentford 5-2, like these aren't really easy results to get. He's doing really well, so I think he's bringing him in for the talent as well, but also because you more likely than not, if you take a manager like Potter who has to work with Mopé and Welbeck and bring him into this team, he's going to be more than happy to agree with anything you're going to say with Bowley. Probably. Now, next season, we'll see what happens, because maybe next summer transfer window, he's going to have some demands from Bowley that he's going to want to happen. Some players to come in, some players to leave, and we'll see what happens if Bowley's going to react this way again, or he's just going to work with it. But I think it's too soon to say he's looking for a yes man. I agree with what you're saying. But at the same time,
Marshall, watch this. But like I said, I think I see progressive moves. Mm-hmm. If you watch, if they bring in Potter now, everybody can agree every signing that we brought in this transfer window, even the young guys are cool. We don't know what they're gonna be. But the major signings, we can agree all of them are class players. If you're just a decent manager, those are class players, right? We can all agree on that. Okay. If you look into the future now, Conte, Jorginho, 2 older guys, might be on we know for sure at least one of them are going to be gone. Might be a new guy. Both of them might be gone. Graham Potter, we're going to be bringing in new players anyway. Like, so when people are saying, oh, Graham Potter's going to have to bring it, if right now we're in a transition anyway. So if they felt like, if y'all know how business work, if you understand how business work, you cut your losses early, never late. If they felt like it wasn't going to have synergy with Tuchel, now you cut it now.
But that's where I have hesitation because he could have done it over the summer.
No, but listen, I don't think. I think they. Listen, I think they actually wanted to give him a chance, but we also have to factor in how terrible we're playing. We cannot leave that out. I don't think. But hold on, wait. Listen, if we beat Tottenham. If we don't get smoked by Leeds and if we beat Southampton, y'all think we firing Tuchel today? I don't think so.
No, I agree with you. But there's context to that. There's context to that. Think about it. There's context to that. Conte got injured. Did we expect Conte to get injured after Everton? No.
Hold on, wait, Marshall, pause. Wait. This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this. I waited. You did the bait. Time out. We all just last week and the week before, we all had Tuchel's head in the guillotine because he would not sign a midfielder. That is Tuchel's fault. So, yes, we all knew. Did we know Conte was going to get hurt? Yes, we all did. And Tuchel went right on TV and said he does not need a midfielder. Some of the problems that we have is Tuchel's fault. And the people who are upset that he's gone, all of a sudden forgot just last week, we were all kicking him up his ass. Because I was one of them, because he was what he was doing in the market it didn't make sense. A lot of the moves did not make sense, and I was defending him as a fan against the banter. But in my own head, I was even saying this does not make sense.
Jimmy, I agree with you on that. No. I see where he's coming from, Declared. I agree with him in that sense. But don't you think it's unfair that we get a DM in Dennis Zakaria, right? And then we get a striker in Aubameyang, one that was arguably Tuchel's decision. Don't you think it's unfair that we didn't even give Tuchel a proper handful of games to see what he could do with that squad? I will admit, I rewatched a part. Hold on. Let me just land real quick, Jimmy. I rewatched part of that game yesterday with Zagreb, right? First of all, I'm going to criticize Tuchel right off the bat right here. Why are you playing Mason Mount in the pivot? Why not just put Jorginho back in there?
Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And when you look at Mason Mount, he's doing the work of like pulling defenders and all that stuff, but he's getting himself in wrong positions and he's doing it all in the wrong time. So the intentions are good and all, but he's out of form. Havertz was starting to look better. Brozier's starting to look better. Part of being a manager and a coach is he's going to have to pick and change and choose and try different things. Look, Ziyech, as much as people want to hate on Ziyech, when your back is against the wall and you don't know what's going to work and what's working with Aubameyang or Sterling, you're going to have to try out things and take a gamble. And I don't know what people expected with Ziyech when he came on to be like this hero ball, shoot the ball. We know Ziyech is a cross merchant. So when he comes in, he's going to have to try crosses and all this stuff. But also the midfield wasn't functional. When Jorginho came in, he looked like he wanted to do something. There's experimenting, there's failing and experimentation here. So I feel like we needed to give Tuchel a little bit more time to play around with these players, see what lineup works. He doesn't even know what lineup works well with Aubameyang because he only had one game with him. The man barely got to hug Aubameyang. Bubba blood clot, man.
Yeah. Listen, first, I want to say this first. I think Ziyech should have to play the rest of the season with his fucking jersey inside out after that performance.
Yeah, sure.
Inside out. That was the worst I've never seen a worse 45 in my life. I cannot name another time in my life I watched a player come on the pitch and play that bad in 45 minutes. And I want to know who gave him the power to move Mason Mount off the free kick. Not one time, but 2 times to kick it right into. Yo, don't even. Let me let that go. Listen, Thomas, Thomas
People, smash
Tuchel.
the like button, please. Jimmy, continue.
Thomas Tuchel, I didn't want him fired because I personally think he probably could have turned it around. But I also felt like it could have went very bad. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't out of the realm that it could have went very bad. I can see a situation where it goes very bad. And it's already kind of started. Like, let's be honest. We got points off of Leicester. We shouldn't have. So think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We all can agree on that. And think about this. We shouldn't have got points from West Ham. Do the math. That's 4 points.
That was a foul. Hey, Jimmy, you're projecting a lot of negative energy.
No, I'm just talking. Declare. Declare. Hold.
I want to talk about what you talked about.
Wait, Declare. You cut me off. Let me finish, and then I'll let you.
This whole time, I have to cut you off.
Declare. You cut me off. Even though I was talking this whole time, there's a proper way. There's a proper way, bro. There's a proper way. You just say, Jimmy, I'll stop. I'll stop. Like I know to put it into a sentence. Declared, I watch Lewis show every day. We all said the same thing. We got away with points that we probably shouldn't have. I'm not projecting negative. I'm just being honest. We got away with points we should have.
No.
That's probably 4.
You saw it might go bad, right?
I said I can see a situation where it go bad. Yes. I said I could see him turning it around. That's the first thing that I said.
And when I said that Potter coming in and it might not work out how we want it to work out, whatever, you said I was projecting negative energy.
I said everything you said was negative. I just gave you 2 sides.
So you were doing the same thing, and plus you said
time out. Declare you're not listening. You're only hearing what you want to hear.
Get new midfielders as well.
The first thing I said was Declare.
The season didn't matter. Why wouldn't we keep on Tuchel?
Declare. I just said what I said, and you're presenting my argument. That's not what I said. The first thing I said was, and I think these guys would agree with me, is I said I wouldn't have fired him because I felt like he would have turned it around.
Yeah, he did say that.
I saw a situation where it could have kept going bad. That's what I said. That's the first thing that I said.
Going bad with Potter.
Of course, you can see a situation where going bad with Potter. I can see a situation with it going bad with any coach.
It's a risk.
It's a risk with any coach.
So that's when I brought it up. You said I was projecting a lot of negative energy.
I said the only side you gave was the negative side. And my point was
I also said this could make Potter. This could make him a world-class manager. You could actually make him in talked about in that,
did say
that the niche group. But there's a lot that have failed. And what I'm talking is it's a big jump, is it not? Jimmy, you don't see it from Brighton to Chelsea as a big jump?
It's a humongous jump.
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
It's a humongous jump. But what I also believe
I'm
in.
actually worried.
Who's not worried? We sacked our manager. I'm worried too. But you know what I also believe in? I also believe in people trying new things. There's so many ways to skin a cat. So the fact that
Jimmy, can I ask?
We're skinning cats out here? God damn.
I mean, it's better than kicking them.
If we didn't give Tuchel the chance to turn around this ownership, right?
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is like Potter could be that top-notch manager, right? But maybe after a couple seasons, right? But if it goes bad for Potter, and for someone that hasn't done it, doesn't have a big resume, and he's going to be criticized even more, right? Yeah. Are they going to give him time? Are we going to be in this same position?
Realistically,
I'm not going to blame Potter if he fails. I'm going to blame Bowley and Co. I'm gonna blame the hierarchy.
Yeah, but see, but I agree. I agree with Danos. Then we could blame Bowley. Then of course we will point the finger at Bowley. Who else we gonna point the finger at? It's nobody else. He's willing to.
I do have a question though.
Setting the standard.
But that's what being an owner. That's what being an owner is, though. Like we talking as if Bowley is like some guy off the corner of the street. Like, see, this is another thing that
doesn't know football, does he?
Hold on, time out. This is, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. What a lot of people also think. This is the misconception about American sports that a lot of I notice with a lot of fans of European football. You guys think that everybody that owns a sports team in America are like super into the sport, and no, what they do is they hire people who know what the hell they're doing. That's what they do, and they surround themselves. The first thing they do is what Ty Bowley did. He put his foot in the deep end. You see those dinners and all of that. He's becoming friend. A lot of things our fans don't do. We don't read the articles, the articles about the owner. If you read the article that came out about Bowley and read what the other owners said about him, they were impressed.
Yes,
they were impressed. The other owners were all impressed. Every owner said they were impressed by Ty Bowley. Mm-hmm. Yes. Every owner said he was an impressive owner. He's an impressive owner. So that's what he did. He put his foot in the deep end. He's an owner. He's not like some guy off the corner of the street, bro. These guys are billionaire.
Why didn't he get a director of football straight away?
Because he probably didn't get who he wanted.
That does bother me. That does bother me. Hold on. I
but
do have to read
this.
This super chat. Hold on, gentlemen. I do have to read this super chat, and then I do want to ask Declare the question. Then you guys can continue doing this.
Okay.
Dark with the $10 super chat. Let's have it right. Grandpa in. All right. Well, anyways, I do have to ask you because I'm curious, Declare. I haven't really heard your thoughts on this. Like, do you think Graham Potter is likely to succeed at Chelsea with this current squad, or do you think he's being set up to fail here?
I think more the latter. I think Potter's been recognised because he can play the similar system that Tuchel plays, so he can pick up where he left off. I mean, there's no point getting a manager in this point and try a whole new system, right? So I think Potter will come in and have the three in the back, and because we've got all the players for it. But every problem that Tuchel had, I think Potter's going to have too. He's going to have a midfield problem if he wants to play that way.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
He might have an attacking problem that Tuchel had. If he but Tuchel didn't have a chance. I was looking forward to the attack that we had. If
you was looking forward to that attack, no, you can't say that, bro.
If there's player power, then that's worrying as well, because when Potter comes in, then everyone's going to start playing well, and those players can turn on Potter any time. So whatever, I think he's being set up a bit too. And then my question is Bowley setting the standard? He didn't give Tuchel time. How much time does he give Potter? Is he
Tuchel's not his hire? Tuchel's not his hire. He didn't even give him an extension.
That one. I do have to give it to Jimmy on that one, just because it does feel this whole thing like from the beginning. If you look at it declared from the very beginning, basically he stripped the whole board. And basically he started it from scratch. Start the whole board. He's going to take the reins, be the director of football for the season, which I don't agree with. He should have probably hired an interim director of football, whatever, but he has a sports analyst, data analyst team. Sure. Maybe he's not wrong in that, right? He got rid of Romelu Lukaku, wasn't his signing, taking up wages, upsetting the team, whatever. Maybe it was he, like I said earlier, maybe he tried to make it work with Tuchel, even though Tuchel wasn't his first choice. And now that he sees how Tuchel is, now that he sees that Tuchel's going to be a baby about not getting De Ligt, a baby about not getting De Jong, despite it not being really Bowley's fault. Bowley did try for both those players. Maybe he's seeing that this guy's going to be really hard to work with. He's being stubborn with the formation and the players he's picking. he doesn't want a midfielder, even though I, as a sporting director, as an owner, and my data analyst team is telling me that he needs a midfield because Jorginho is the only one there. Kova and Conte are injury prone. You know, maybe he's just preemptively, like I said, he should have done it sooner, but maybe that's why he's like, all right, give me Potter, give me a Zidane, give me a Poch or whatever. I hope it's Potter or Zidane. Don't give me Poch. But maybe that's why.
No Poch.
Anthony Gordon.
But Marshall, yeah, just what Hassan brought up is that they went in for Anthony Gordon, made a bid, so it looks like Bowley does make his own bids, and if the data showed him that he needed a midfielder, they could have went for the midfielder.
Alexis, if you want to hop on, you can hop on. By the way, brother, I did send you the link. But go on. I'm sorry, Declare. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's I just my worry is that if Bowley himself doesn't know much, right? We can agree with that.
Yes.
But I was hoping all these experts were going to come in, and a great director of football, one of the best, and you know what? Tuchel would have welcomed that, because Tuchel openly came out and said he didn't want to do it, right? So he would have welcomed the director of football early on, and now it seems like Bowley's making all these decisions, right?
But Declare, how you know he would have accepted the DOF?
Because he said he didn't want to do it, the role of
No, he said he didn't want to. He said he didn't want to play any part in hiring the DOF. That's what he
so
said.
He would have welcomed the director of football.
But no, that's not what he said, though. We're going to go by what he said. We're going by what he said.
Wait, Andrew, what do you wait? All right, finish your point, and then I want to hear what Andrew has to say. Declare.
Yeah. So for me, what's worrying is that Bowley is making all these decisions. Maybe listen to some people. We're not even sure about if they how good they are or their qualifications, and we could be in a Bowley learning period, right? Kind of reminds me of the Fenway Group when they first came in and made all these different choices, and it took them 5-6 years to get the structure that they wanted. And I don't want to be in that position where Bowley's going to make all these decisions and fail and go, all right, that didn't work, and try again, and then we spent how many seasons trying to get it right because Bowley had the confidence that he could do it himself, right? And these decisions are coming down to Bowley. We're not getting a director. Where's the director of football to say, I don't want Tuchel, let's get this manager, let's get this player. There's all these players Tuchel bought. It doesn't. Marshall,
that does bother me.
Point. It doesn't make sense to spend all that money on Tuchel, like based on Tuchel, what he wanted, right? Have this falling out. He's talking to some analysts we don't even know, and he's making separate bids.
And then he's looking at teams like City and Liverpool as well. He's looking at them signing Haaland and stuff, and it probably is influencing him. Because it does make a statement saying that they are falling behind.
Yeah.
Even though they... Go on.
No, finish, Sam. Sorry, you finished. Go on.
No, I'm also saying that Twitter and murmurs of the fan base will also push his narrative of getting a new manager in, because to him Tuchel has to prove himself. I think the whole keeping and contract renewals just PR. I think they just wanted to get rid of him from day one, but they needed an excuse.
You got to remember the timeline, right?
They waited for the perfect time.
Yeah, on 94 of you, let's get the likes up. We've only got 56. Let's get the likes
Yeah, smash the like buttons. Thank you guys, everyone who's joining in. Make sure you're checking out links in the description. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, because I know a lot of you watching have thoughts about this. I want to know in the comments, and I will reply.
Can I ask a question?
Unfiltered as well.
Well, I just want Winter Surfer to finish, and then Jimmy, ask your question.
I just want to say, let's do the timeline, right? We're in sanction. 31st of May, it gets announced we're taking over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Several weeks in, they're still looking around. This whole thing with Marina and Peter Cech happened, right? Because I keep going back to, there's no way I think Todd Bowley wanted to be in charge and do the transfers. I just don't think that's what he wanted to do. So he wanted the transition of having Marina and Cech there. They do most of the summer business, then they bring in a new DOF afterwards. The problem is, whether it's a discussion of all of them and they have different ideas, even Tuchel to Marina and Cech, you got to factor in, he's got to back the coach, what he wants to do, right? So they lets Marina and Cech go, and then he has to take on the reins, because bringing in a director of football takes some time, and maybe those people aren't available. Michael Edwards doesn't want to take the job at the moment. He's not available. And we remember we were also we were behind in the transfers anyway because other clubs were able to strike up deals or do their whatever beforehand. So we got to take that into all effect as well. I do not believe, once again, Todd Bowley wanted to be in charge of transfers. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it at all.
Jimmy, what was your question, brother?
All right. I've been on social media all day, right? And everybody biggest issue I keep seeing with Graham Potter, basically everybody keeps saying the same thing. Even Declared even said it, and it might be I'm not as concerned, but everybody keeps saying, well, Brighton don't see low blocks. Let's see his answer to the low block. Let's see his answer to the low block.
Today.
Right?
They have though, but
but wait, Marshall, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. What was Tuchel's answer to the low block? So what fucking difference does it make? He had no answer. Can we all agree that the low block was Tuchel's I don't know what you want to call it. He could not answer the low block.
Okay, so here's the issue.
We saw it enough to realize he could not answer the low.
Here's the issue
block.
that I have with Tuchel, and this is where another criticism of Tuchel is. When Tuchel comes out and says that and Mourinho did something in a similar sense, a lot of managers do this in a similar sense where they don't really coach attacking. They don't coach how to score a goal or how to take on the player or all this and that. When there's no idea or no coaching behind that, when you leave it to the players' hands, it gets to a point where if a morale of the team is low, you get uninspirational attack like last night.
Because it's vibes football. So if the vibes is off.
Exactly. When it's the vibe, and that's where the criticism of Tuchel comes in.
Yep.
I had an issue watching that game and seeing like, okay, the only player that seems to want to take initiative in this squad, and it's a little too late right now, is Reece James going into the box, trying to make something happen. And everyone else is like, you take the ball. No, you take the ball. Hey, let's try crossing it in from here. Let's try crossing it in from there. And I'll give it to Ziyech. I'll give it to Ziyech. Ziyech is like the biggest verdict or the biggest criminal of this, where he didn't feel like taking on players. He's just like, let me just cross it in. I got to go.
Let me just cross
someone
it.
will get it.
I don't know if you guys saw in the Dynamo game, Jorginho was waving it, saying pass it sideways.
Yes, and this is my biggest issue with why people rag on Jorginho.
That's the mentality.
This is my biggest issue why people rag on Jorginho. When you see people that constantly say Jorginho pass back merchant, Jorginho pass this. Bro, look at how often the attack actually moves and opens up for Jorginho. It's not very often. How often do you see Jorginho pass the ball and say, point over here, point over there? Jorginho is one of the few midfielders in this team, or one of the few players, I won't say midfielders, one of the few players in this team that takes an initiative to say, hey, move up, open up, pass, give me an option. How it's so many times when these players are just standing there silly, walking towards the ball or making runs in the worst times or getting in between players and making themselves interceptable. Like, you can't blame Jorginho for passing back when you have an attack that is so uninspired or left to their own whims. Like, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to move around and think and run around and just stay up here. Like, there's no shit that Jorginho's going to pass back often because he doesn't have options going forward. I'll leave it at that.
Not only that, Marshall, they had so many players on different ways of playing. Everyone had different ideas. Like Jorginho is there to dictate the play and play how the manager or how the team's meant to play.
I just explained why Jorginho has to play the way he does, and this is your answer? Oh my goodness, mate. Okay, whatever. Continue. I'm sorry, Declared.
Yeah, so even in the Southampton game, right, you had just players playing all different. Jorginho is trying to pull the ball, play it this way. You had players trying to dribble. You had players doing cross ball. There was no system, no way of playing, and I think that's what's happened. I think players just playing.
There's no idea in the attack.
I mean, if the same players want to do the same thing, any manager that comes in is going to be in trouble. I mean, that's why I was happy that we started just selling.
But players. I don't fully agree with that, because if you have a manager that's telling players, look, this pattern of play, when this ball go this way, you make this run. Tuchel clearly doesn't do that because it's just vibes. No, he does not.
That's what your complaint is. Your complaint
that's
is
the thing.
Slow.
But But that's no. But that's the thing that we're
no. I'm
complaining about the
talking about
attack
once the
creativity.
ball gets into the third, into final third, I never know what we're gonna do. I never know. When I'm watching Man City in their final third, I know what they're gonna do. It's just whether or not the defense can stop it. I don't know what we're gonna do. Let me ask you this: does anybody ask themselves, why is it? I just thought it because he was stupid. I'm gonna be honest. Timo Werner was always offsides, and then now Kai Havertz is always offsides. You know why? He don't know when to go. It's not practiced. It's vibes. It's not a plan. It's vibes. When it's a plan, he knows, okay, I'm going now. I'm gonna break now. I'm going now.
Declare. This is what I'll give. This is what I'll give Potter too. From what I've seen of Graham Potter, mind you, he's working with Mopé, Trossard. He's working with Welbeck. Like, these aren't like top class attackers. At least when Potter is attacking, these players create so many chances and opportunities because they move around. They have an idea.
They're not even that talented.
And they're not that talented.
They're not like speed merchants or nothing. These are regular bang average players.
And this is
they
where,
knock the ball and move. Knock it and move.
And this is where I defend Tuchel when it's the formation, right? I don't think it's the formation that's causing us to just pass it to the wing all the time. I think it's the players and the attackers feeling so uninspired to try to take initiative, to dribble through the low blocks and all that, and try to create something. But that's also on Tuchel to not coach them onto how to attack. We could praise Tuchel for how well he's coached the defense. Yes, the defense, when Tuchel came in, we had solid, bricked up defense. No one could get through. But now we're conceding goals like a motherfucker. I don't know why. But it's just... I think part of it is maybe he lost some players in the locker room. These players are feeling uninspired. It's spreading throughout the locker room. Who knows? But I don't think the reason we're going to the wings all the time is necessarily Tuchel's fault. I think it's Tuchel's fault that he's not coaching them how to attack. But I think it's also on the players that are feeling uninspired to do anything or take initiative to create something outside of just passing it to the wing.
Hold on, Marshall. I'll address the defense first, right? We got a whole new defense, so I'm putting that down to new players. That's going to
agreed. I agree with that. They need time to match. Agreed.
Agreed.
I'll give you that.
I think Potter's going to have that same issue, right? He's gonna because even with that bright and great defense, it took him a while to get there, right? For them to be so organized, right? And I hope he gets that opportunity to do that with Chelsea too, if that's how he wants to play. But the way the 3-4-3 works with the way Tuchel wanted to play and the way it's always worked. The wing backs.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Sorry.
Yeah.
103 of you watching, only 61
yes.
likes.
Please, people, smash that like button.
I don't understand how people don't click the like. It's so simple.
It is free to click
the like.
It is free to hit that like. It helps the channel grow, and we're always doing these streams, so you make sure you also hit that bell notification so you don't miss it. If you want to come in here, call in. It's all here. It's all here. The beautiful game, people. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Declare. You were saying about Brighton and the defense and adjusting.
Yeah. So no, the way the free in the back works when we play wing backs are there to stretch the play. So other teams have a choice to. It's hard because if they want to cover the wing backs, right, then they get stretched out. That's why wing backs always will find quite a bit of space, right? That's why when and Tuchel played a more progressive way compared to Conte in that, because Conte liked to kick it in, to play that long ball into a big striker, and you always had to have a massive striker that can do that, right? So wingbacks will always, but just by how teams approach Chelsea, right? They'll rather give wingbacks more room, right, and not be stretched out narrowly in between. So that's why it would look like a low block with wingbacks getting so much space, right? So we got teams allowed a lot of crossings for us, right? To counter what we do in the middle, right? So that's why it looked like that all the time, because that was the team's approach. If the teams actually split up wide, right, then we will go narrow. We will play narrow. because we got so many players there. But we didn't do anything with the crossing so much. And where you actually saw what I'm talking about, where teams got exposed, is early on when Tuchel came in, that great first last season, up to like December, when we started falling apart, right? You saw that he dealt, to go back to what Jimmy was saying too. He dealt with low blocks. Teams couldn't handle it, right? And that's why I was optimistic when Tuchel starts to get more of the players with the same characteristics that he wanted, and it might take more than one season, then that flow of football is going to be better than when we saw it back then. But people are remembering what's happened once we got injuries and what's happened now, and they're like, no, it's not working. Look, for what Potter did at Brighton, it didn't happen straight away as well. That took time to get that team so organized. Right, and if we're gonna hold the same standard, I mean, the same impatience for Tuchel, I'm hoping they give Potter that same patience. Hope they give him a season or two. But we might be going through the same mess, and he might go through the same problems that Potter needs a midfielder. Maybe the attackers aren't that good. The same problems.
Could I give the counter argument to that? Let me give the counter argument to that. You saying that it took Potter a few years in Brighton? Yeah, it took him a few years with that level of player. It ain't gonna take him that long with class and world-class players. That's sorry, it just no. Come on, declare what you mean. What do you mean that's not how it works? What are you telling me, bro?
That's not how it works. Organization, right?
Declare. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Let's. We're acting like every time a new manager comes in, that means every player has to be taught how to play football from ground zero. Let's stop acting like that.
That's a bad.
Okay, so you keep saying, but wait. You said it took
to be coached how to play.
You said it took Graham Potter a few years. You said it took him a few years in Brighton, which we can agree is that who are at least 2 to 3 levels, probably even 4 in talent. It took him a few years. You don't think
you're making a bad point. It took Pep and Klopp a few years as well, right? If that makes sense to you.
It takes every manager a transitional period.
Yeah, it takes Unai Emery to build a team and to build like a perfect.
Right now,
all levels, but it's just the same. It works the same way.
But what we would expect from Graham Potter right now is what Tuchel probably is going to give us. Probably what Tuchel would have gave us. What I'm expecting from Graham Potter is probably what Tuchel would have gave us this year. That's my personal assessment.
So
I expect because of the relationship. You can't. But I understand that. I agree with that. But we can't leave off. You got to remember, a sports team is not just what we see when they playing or when they're training. It's an atmosphere in a workplace, within a building. Hold on, you don't say no. It's yes. It's an atmosphere within a workplace. If the atmosphere is getting spoiled and going bad, it's better to cut it off early, because those things usually don't turn around. In sports, in the history of sports, when things are going bad within the building, it usually don't turn around. That's why even you have times where coaches are win cups, and teams still fire them, because the energy within the relationship is not there.
Hold on, Jimmy. If Tuchel started winning, then that will turn that whole thing around. I don't get why there was such a rush to get in Potter. Right, we could have got in Potter at the end of the season. We could have got any other manager that becomes available.
We probably could have, but the point was they had to get rid of Tuchel, though. I don't think they wanted to get rid of. I don't think the move was let's get rid of Tuchel so we can get Potter. I think the move was this is not working. I just told you the relationship is not working.
Danos, what did you say? What, I just want to hear what Danos had to say. What did you say, Danos?
Wait, I can't remember. What
It's so good. Wait, hold on. I just want to the thing is like, all right, let's put it into a work environment, right? If you come into a new work environment and you're the manager, and you see that there is like a manager below you that is in charge of your other employees, and you see that something that he's doing is pretty toxic. All right. Sometimes the solution isn't to wait until you find something for it to to find a replacement. Sometimes you got to get rid of the toxicity before it gets worse, and maybe that's what Jimmy is coming at. That maybe the partnership with Tuchel was getting bad. And again, we're all assuming this is all tinfoil hat stuff. Like I know, maybe a lot of this comes out and we're all wrong about it, but let's just assume that it's right. I think there is an issue with Tuchel and Bowley. The relationship is stained, and you can't sustain that relationship if it's toxic, right? So maybe that's why he's pulling the trigger now. Now, back to what you said earlier, Declared, and I wanna talk on this. You said that this could potentially happen to Potter if things turn out bad. Potter gets to the end of the season. If things don't look too good in the beginning of next season, then he gets the sack too. I disagree. I think the reason Tuchel gets the sack now is because it's just not what Bowley wanted. Bowley wants to work with someone that
he's not his guy. He didn't hire him.
He
came there and saw him there.
I do think Bowley wants a project. I don't think he's another Roman again. I just don't think he wanted to do the project with Tuchel. That's where I have my differences with what you're saying, Dick.
In the end,
and I agree.
Yeah.
In the end, I think he was looking to work, but I think it's just all on what spiraled out of control, and they realised he's not the guy who they wanted to go with, and unfortunately, the timing's crap.
When Tuchel said he wanted to lick, Bowley was like, "Hey, that's cap. No, we have better defenders out here." You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been something like that. Who knows?
Look, I agree with the analogy of what you mentioned, you and Jimmy. But what I disagree with, or what I don't like about it, is that in the end, usually that relationship comes down to if you had a director in football, he deals with all that. Right, Bowley might be, Bowley in some seasons or years might be, in the United States, right? He might be chilling there, and he's not going to be as involved, right?
I don't think he will be, because he's not as involved in his other teams. This is misconception that he's this over. I think he came over here, got involved to the point on the level of with the owners, letting the owners know, because a lot of times these guys looking somebody eye to eye in business means a lot. When it comes to these billionaires literally putting hand to hand, shaking hands, that means a lot to these guys. That's talking
especially over the dinner table.
It means a lot. These guys, that means a lot. So he came over here, got his feet wet. Now he didn't get his feet wet. He jumped in the water. He ducked his head under the water, everything with the eyes open, came out with the red eyes, got out of the water, and he know what he's in for. I just think that the relationship between him and Tuchel, he saw it wasn't working. And he said, Tuchel, you got to skedaddle. Like,
sometimes you go out dating. Sometimes you go out dating and you meet a nice woman and she turns out to be great. But sometimes you meet them and she belongs to the street. It is what it is with Tuchel. You never know. It could have been that thing. Declare what you're gonna say, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna add that my issue is that Bowley making that decision. I mean, he's a guy that probably doesn't know, and probably. There's heaps of managers like Tuchel. Maybe he doesn't experience this. Maybe it's a culture a clash that a lot of managers are like.
Bowley should
compared to managers and what he's dealt with in America.
But the owner,
I don't want Bowley making that decision. I want someone that understands more, right? A director
with experience.
I think that sounds kind of silly to say you don't want the owner of the club to decide who's going to be the manager.
Yes, because
the owner's going to always but that's not realistic. You got to be real. Like some of the times you guys say some things that just don't. We're talking in the real world. Sometimes we talk about football as if it's FIFA, bro.
So you can
but you said you don't want him to have a say in who's the manager?
I think he can have a say, but it's just how he does it.
Yeah, I would rather direct the football.
But we don't know how he does it yet. He hasn't hired a manager yet.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's
I'd
true.
rather-
I do feel like we're jumping on the gun. I do. Feel like
Yeah, he hasn't hired one yet.
He's
I
gonna
do have
hire
to
one.
say, as a fan base, we are probably, as much as I hate saying it, we are probably a little bit emotional right now.
Look,
I mean,
one
we're
thing I can
definitely
say about
emotional.
Chelsea
We have
fan
been
base.
through much
course.
shit at times.
Listen, our
Yes.
fan,
This coming. Even
our-
the people who were Tuchel out didn't see this coming.
yeah, but our fan base, our fan base remind me of like the dude that meet a chick who everybody had, and then the minute he have her, he's ready to marry her. Like we get too attached emotionally
No,
to these
Jimmy, but
two, like. But wait, hold on, wait. I'm not saying you declared. I'm not saying you, but I'm watching guys emotional. Like I see, I was watching the thing the other day. These two dudes yelling at each other. Like Tuchel's been here for like 2 years, bro. Calm down. Like,
Yeah, see, that's one thing that I didn't even realize earlier.
he hasn't done. Like, I hate to say it. It's gonna sound really fucked up, but it's just the truth. He ain't do anything Di Matteo hasn't done, bro. He hasn't done anything. He won a Champions League.
You're not playing down the Champions League as well, are you?
He won a champion. Di Matteo won the Champions League. Di Matteo won an FA Cup. He won the Champions League and he won a Super Cup.
I don't know I think you're losing me here, Jimmy.
I'm talking facts. I can lose you all I want.
Cup, didn't he?
It's the way that
No, he
Tuchel
won
it
the
versus
FA
Di
Cup.
Matteo.
Di Matteo won the FA Cup and he won Champions League. If you
Jimmy, let me ask you
want to make up,
something.
wait. If you want to make up excuses to discredit it, go ahead. That's your choice. But that's the facts.
This Champions League run.
Tuchel won the Champions League, and Tuchel won the Super Cup and
the Club World Cup.
the Club World Cup. Mm-hmm. Like we're acting like he's Fergie. Like, come on, like he did his numbers. I respect him. I don't think he should have been fired. I'd rather him be here than not.
Have you seen
I'm just confused as in why we.
I've seen two of them,
to give him a
and I watched the first one. The coach who won the first one, I watched him get fired.
So which team do you felt was better, well equipped to win a Champions League in 2 times?
I didn't think neither one was gonna win, so it didn't really matter.
So both a surprise.
Yes. But the first Champions League we won, I did not go into it thinking, yeah, Chelsea, we're going to win the Champions League. Hell no. We won it, but did I think we were going to win it? No.
Had world-class players enough to win a Champions League because I think, was it the year before we made it to the finals and lost?
No, we hadn't made it. No, it was at 08.
No.
4 years.
Yeah, I'm about to say we went a while without going. There wasn't the year
there
before.
was a lot of players that lost in that final that were still there, right?
Yeah, but they were 4 years older.
Yeah,
they were 4 years older.
And more experience. There was no way, I thought, when Tuchel came in with this team, right, after we saw Lampard and Sarri and all the seasons before, that they will even come close.
True.
But let me ask you this question. Could this team this year, could it beat Barca from that year? Hell to the no.
Year? Which year?
The year we beat Barca.
Oh no, I don't. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. I don't.
The thing is,
beat Munich. I'm sorry. My point. What I'm saying is, with this team, we didn't. Tuchel won the Champions League this year, but Di Matteo went through a gauntlet.
Here's my issue that I have with what you're saying here, Jimmy. Okay, let me ask you this question. When Di Matteo won the Champions League, did you think he won it with his ideas, or was it Mourinho's ideas that won it?
See, now here we go. So now that I said I know that he was the manager, and I know we won. I can't get into the. I'm not. See, this is the thing. As fans, we like, depending on who we like, that's what we go with. He was the manager, so that means the managerial decisions were his. We have to give him the credit.
But my point being, let's give him credit. That's fine. My point being is that it's up in the air whether or not it was his tactics or not. You know what's not up in the air? when Tuchel won, if it was Lampard's tactics or Tuchel's gameplay or Tuchel's ball. That was hands down 100% Tuchel's tactics and Tuchel's way of playing.
Well, if we're gonna do that, Marshall, if we're gonna do that, this is why we can't play that game. Or was it the fact that Man City played without a fucking midfield? Or was it that?
But that's not on us. We don't know what tactics Man City's going to play with before we get in there.
No, I tell you.
So we can't do the what ifs.
That was Pep. That was Pep being
Pep.
I'm not understanding how to play Tuchel because he played in 2 previous games and he couldn't figure him out. He tried 2 different formations. In this one, he tried 3.
So Winter Surfer, you prove my point. So you might prove a point. Then that was before Tuchel got figured out. That's what you're saying.
Well,
or he got sussed out. Sure.
Played him twice before.
Listen, this isn't about whether Tuchel will figure out later. That's fine, but we can't. Listen, I give credit to Di Matteo for getting those players on side. Now it was a cumulative effort in both Champions League runs to get the players on side. Now, 2021, we were in 9th when Lampard got sacked. Yeah, we were in 9th. We weren't going to do anything. Finishing 4th was the best that we could do. I'm not going to take that Champions League run was flawless.
It was
absolutely
beautiful.
Flawless.
Defensively, beautiful. Best defense I've ever seen.
We played. It's still the best defense in European Cup history. Yeah.
Yes.
Or this version of the Champions League, whatever you want to say. That the 2012, we used up, and there was still great things in 2012. But if we look back on that, we used up all our luck that we needed in previous runs, in that run to win that Champions League, and that's why we probably didn't do well in the competition for nearly 10 years later. So. It's true. If you look at it, there's no way you go to Barcelona 2-0 down and still go through to the European Cup final down to 10. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
Penalty save.
Yeah, penalty save.
Yeah, there was a lot of luck. It's
just nothing. I just
I don't really believe in luck. So
some clubs don't even get to a final, let alone win. We've won 2, and we should put them both up there as the greatest thing this club has ever done.
I do want to bring another topic into this discussion because I did talk about it earlier. We are talking about Champions League. But before I do that, Dark, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I want to spark up a split with Jimmy. He is class.
Yo, I don't know if you want to smoke with me. You got to be a heavy smoker, bro.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm down. Let me doing it.
You gotta have heavy lungs.
Oh, I do, bro.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Anyways, I did want to ask you guys this. This is going to be an interesting topic. Do you guys think that maybe we won the Champions League too soon? Because you could make the argument that ever since we've won the Champions League, this team has been going downhill.
You know what I'll say? I think winning the Champions League
in a sense didn't make us complacent.
Made us rate Tuchel maybe higher than we should have at first, because his league form is not that impressive. Like what really dawned on me last year, and I want you guys to realize this. And like this is what I think, because people keep saying, "Oh, he's only going off of these few games with Tuchel." What people don't realize, when these guys buy teams, they take everything Tuchel did. From the day Tuchel started managing up to now, Bowley and them, they got all of that data. This is American sports owner. It's data driven. They got all of that data. Last year, fellas, we almost lost top 4 to Tottenham and Arsenal. Tottenham started off with freaking Nuno, and Arsenal started off losing their first 3. Dude, I was at the end of the season. I remember waking up game day, praying Arsenal and Tottenham lost, because I had no faith that we were gonna win. I'm not even kidding you. Most of the times you're going into it saying we're gonna win. I was worried. I was hoping Arsenal and these guys would not lose. In the meantime, we were falling apart. I watched it. Like, we cannot deny it. A lot that Champions League make us say, no, we're not. No, that's not what we're seeing. Yes, bro. Wipe the coal out your eye, out the corner of your eye. That's your chick, bro. That's your chick. That's your chick. That's her. She's bent over. That's doggy style. That's not you in there, bro. That's not your hand slapping her ass, bro. That's your chick. Like it's like we're like a cuckold right now with Tuchel. Like, we don't want to open our eyes and realize, bruh. Yes, like that text message we're reading, that's our wife making the date to meet up at the hotel with your best friend, bro. That's it. Like, Tuchel has just he's been collapsing. And to start to end the season on a downfall and then start the next season the same way you ended the last season, that's uninspiring.
You know what I think? I think I'm never going to turn down a UCL win ever. I'm never going to turn it down. But what it did, it gave false images of the squad, and maybe gave Tuchel false images of the squad, how good they were. Because I think they thought, oh, he could win the European Cup with this squad. We don't really have to invest that much. Maybe only a striker or something like that. And that was a mistake. That was a mistake. We gassed it.
That's how we got Romelu.
We were off the UCL fumes. We got gassed, and we thought we were going to challenge for the title.
Fucking Lukaku.
It pushed players like Kepa.
That name triggers me.
All the bums want to stay after that UCL win. They want to stay for another season.
I agree with Andrew. I was going to say what Andrew was saying, and it goes deeper. Under Roman Abramovich, every time we won something, the manager wasn't backed afterwards.
Never. Never.
They felt that
they rested on their laurels.
To win something, we
Yep.
didn't need to back it, and only really invested in the team heavily when we weren't winning, right? And that was the trend, right? And that's how they.
It was a backwards approach. Yep.
Yeah. So when Tuchel won it, then obviously they didn't invest a lot, and in order to get Lukaku, we sold just as much. I mean, some of the players we could have solved a lot of problems for us.
We got rid of Tammy. We got rid of Giroud.
Yep.
I mean, Tamori and the defensive, all the defensive players we could have used now. So that was the trend on the old, ownership. So I'm hoping now. Who knows how they're going to approach it? We spend so much money now. Maybe they don't think they have to invest in the upcoming seasons. I mean,
on a side note, on a totally different thing, there's 116, 120 watching. It's probably the highest we've had live in quite a while.
Yeah,
we've had
seriously,
about 20 to 25 new subs on the stream as well. So we really appreciate that. We're still under 100 likes. Let's get it. Let's try and get it.
Let's ramp that likes up.
What's wrong with the people with the likes?
You know what's crazy? We're talking about Champions League. This is the most viewers we've had since we won the Champions League. So it goes to show how big of an impact Tuchel is driving in the Chelsea fan base right now, and it's crazy. But you know what sucks about this whole entire thing? This is what kills me, is that it almost makes it seem like the Champions League, it was like a curse. In a sense, it was like the beginning of the end.
That. No. I'll take winning the Champions League and firing the manager anytime. I don't care.
Let me rephrase it then. It almost makes it seem like it was the beginning of the end for Tuchel.
Well, no, because Tuchel. Let me tell you. You know why I disagree with that? Because you imagine if we would have won last year, the hiccup. That's what I call it. It was what is the Carling Cup? I call it the hiccup. And the FA Cup, that would have been a beautiful seat. Like, that would have been a good ending.
Trophies.
Like, that would have been. So him, fluttering at the end wouldn't have looked so bad. But he fluttered at the end, and I don't downplay that he lost 3 finals. He lost, like we lost to Leicester in the final, the FA. Like, I almost crashed my truck that day. I was so mad. I didn't take that lightly at all. That loss hurt my soul. That
wasn't a good one.
That one hurt me. That one hurt. We lost the FA Cup to fucking Leicester. Like I like Tuchel. I wasn't Tuchel out. At no point I wasn't Tuchel out. But I can kind of understand it. I can't sit here and say I don't understand why. I'm just glad that they got in the well, they seem to be getting in a manager that I agree with getting in. Because Poch, no.
Please
At
no.
least the manager they're trying to bring in plays a sort of similar
Yes,
formation.
and that was my thing.
sort of-
And to be honest, if Poch played three at the back with better attacking, I probably would be like, okay, it's that Poch don't fit the same mold. So now we're gonna be going down that Manchester United lane of new manager, new everything. Like I want us to stay down the
beginning.
lane. Okay, we got rid of Tuchel. The next manager we bringing in is now. And I just read a report while was talking. The FA has come out and admitted that they were looking at Potter to be the next manager after if Southgate ever looked to go. So like Potter is respected as a manager. He's respected as a manager. I think if his name was if his name was Gramioso Potterino and he was from the favelas, we'll be like, yeah, we got the next Joga Bonita, bring it on. Like, I think it's just because he's an English manager, people are not super excited. I don't think that is his CV that people are not excited about. I think it's the fact that he's not he's an English manager, but he doesn't play boring football.
Yeah,
none at all.
I think the caliber of manager and the fact that people are seeing as a downgraded Tuchel because of his lack of CV is why I think people are kind of aggressive or in a way upset. Because if we sucked Tuchel and let's say we got a Jurgen Klopp or a caliber that's similar to Tuchel or better, I don't think anyone would complain.
But I think not every time. Nah, I don't want to wait for Klopp.
Well,
We're waiting for a while.
I think Potter's like a
Marshall's
nice
question
little...
before we go off topic because I mean I don't think it was his downfall, Tuchel's downfall, because the way we started the season, it was great. We were top of the league.
We were on fire, bro.
Until it all fell
we
apart.
were on fire.
And up until Romelu opened his big fat mouth with his
Yes.
you wildin', bro.
Yes.
We were bowling.
We were on fire.
And all the injuries and all the
yeah, that too. Chilwell as well.
Injuries killed us. Injuries killed us.
So I looked at that and we still got to finals. We still got to 3 finals, and we did well against one of the top teams, which is Liverpool, right? And then I looked at that is that well, what's been exposed is the depth of our team, because as soon as we got injuries, we fell apart. And if we can address some of these players that don't fit the system and the depth, that we might actually go on another level. And I was actually looking forward to that. With all these players we got in and probably addressed a lot of our problems and got a lot of the players like Werner, Lukaku, that were on high wages, that weren't giving much, that we were actually going to progress from that position. That Champions League, that great start from that season, that we were going to become better. It was going to take a bit of time because there were so many new faces, right? But I thought we were going to finish this season strong. So my expectations was that we were going to have a rocky start and that we were going to get better as time goes on. That's why I'm upset and so shocked about the sacking, because he wasn't given that opportunity. I mean, people cherry picking this stat of 7 wins in 22 games. Yeah, but I mean, look at the overall thing from winning the Champions League, from the great start. And then all the factors that came in that played that gave us all those losses, but we even after all that, we still made finals. We didn't win them. If we won them, it might have changed. It might have made this worse, because like we've been discussing, it's not down to the results. If Tuchel won the FA Cup and stuff, and we were actually getting gassed even more on what could happen this season, the Todd Bowley doesn't like him, and he would have been out regardless. And if he's been talking to the players, some of those players that probably we wanted to sell, they're excited, and that's when I think what I'm worried about is that Todd Bowley could have given the players more confidence in their player power, which is setting a bad precedent as well. So there's I
don't know.
And
you know why I don't?
I had a lot of changes, right? I thought we were going. A lot of things that I didn't like about what Roman did, I thought it was all getting solved now. And now it's all coming back, and I'm starting to hate it. The quick managers, the player power, And yeah.
Well, I mean, it's too soon to say
what?
declared. It's too
Marshall,
soon
let
to
me say
say,
one thing.
but
Too
yeah.
You know
soon,
why?
I know, but
I
it's what the
I
impression I'm getting
disagree
from
about the
earlier.
player power part. You know why? Because if you look at how sports is nowadays, when players are disgruntled like that, they make it known. It's easier to get it to the man. It's easier to get it to the media. It's out there. Like they play. We haven't really heard no bunch of players disgruntled. You heard players disgruntled about playing time, like typical player stuff. You haven't heard players coming out leaking dirt. You know what I mean? Leaking
Not like
dirt and
Lukaku.
leaking. Yeah, you know how you see Lukaku was. You can see he was upset, and then you can see the stuff that he was doing
Yeah.
to show that he was upset. As upset as Pulisic is, Pulisic ain't done a thing.
He's being
His father
professional
has.
about it.
It's been his father. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people could be like, oh, well, it's his dad and he can this. Well, I don't know how many. I got a father and I grew up, my dad raised me.
I don't even blame
If
his
I was a
father for what he
sports
did
athlete
either.
and I couldn't tell my dad what not to say.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? My dad is a
Yeah,
grown
yeah.
man. So it's like the players didn't really rebel against Tuchel. I really honestly feel like Tuchel did not present himself well. Because because I think what a lot of people are reading, one of the articles that came out, and I see a lot of people reading it, and they're reading it wrong. They said the owners felt like Tuchel lacked the emotional intelligence. I don't know if people know what emotional intelligence is. People need to go and look what emotional intelligence is. That means he's not a people's person, bro. He's not a people's person.
But you know what's happening? It sounds like Tuchel's. I got some feedback. It sounds like Tuchel's getting criticized for not his football knowledge and his tactics and that, but he's getting criticized for being cold and saying no to the ownership.
But I think he's also being criticized for his football tactics. That we do that. We've been doing that for the last 6 weeks. How many weeks the season we in? We've all been doing that. So if we're complaining, don't think the owners are up there like, whoop did he do that? We'll get better one day. We're fans and we're complaining. So what do you think the owners are doing?
The thing is, though, with the whole player power situation, I actually want to challenge that because it's been happening. It's the same cycle that's been happening the last 5-6 managers. They don't have to physically do a Lukaku interview to know, like the athletic and stuff. Shit gets leaked out. Like you'll hear a few murmurs, players getting a little bit unsettled in the
Yeah, but we haven't been hearing that.
It's been happened. It's happened under Conte. It's happened under Sarri.
We might hear it in the next few weeks. Who knows?
But that's my point. But if we hear it in the next few weeks, a lot of that could just be spin. A lot of that could be spin. A lot of that could be clicks.
I mean, if it's happened with the last 10 managers that we've had here.
Yeah, the biggest
cycle continues, man.
The performance of the players. Down to
exactly. The performance is
the biggest evidence of it, right? These players, right, have not performed. They have done. Tuchel. Everyone says it was Tuchel's thing to motivate them. All that. These players are performing so poorly, and if Potter comes in and everyone just switches it on, that's your evidence of down tooling, right?
But hold on, but
way you know it.
But okay, but I heard on the stream earlier. I heard Scott say that, and I heard you say that. So if a new manager comes in and the players start playing well and playing better, isn't that a sign that it was time for the damn manager to go, bro? That's not a bad thing on the players. That meant that the manager time was up. It's not player power. That means
to a certain extent, I agree with what Declared is saying, but I also see where Jimmy's coming from as well.
Well, of course. It means your time is up. If you can't get the players to play for you, your time is up. I don't care who you are, for whatever reason.
Can they do that to Potter too?
It doesn't matter who they can do it to in the future. They're doing it to him now. It's a reason.
So they can do it to Potter. They can do it to any manager.
They can do it to any manager.
But hold on. But wait. But what you're saying it as if they're doing it on purpose. It's for every action there's a reaction.
Mourinho.
Jimmy, the question is though, at what point does this need stop and compromise? Because the last 5 managers have said it's always been difficult to motivate them.
Okay, but so let me.
Boys, I just wanna say right now, I do need to end the stream, so I'm gonna give you guys the guests here, and then me and Andrew, just the final thoughts on what's to happen, what we're talking about right now, the player power, whatever you want to talk about. Jimmy, I'm gonna start with you. Just give me your final thoughts, and yeah, we'll be wrapping it up. But guys, smash the like button. We're at 83, almost 135 of you watching. Please smash that like button. It helps out the channel big time. And thank you everyone who's come on. We're gonna do another show later on this week when we find out more news of what's going on with the club. But Jimmy, give us your final thoughts on everything, man.
Man, I definitely wasn't Tuchel out, but I can understand why he's gone. And if Graham Potter's the person, I'm with that. I'm with Potter in. And don't worry, and the way how this fan base is so fickle, 5 or 6 games in a row, and he'll have a song and a banner. So I'm not even worried about it.
All right, Declared. What are you saying, brother?
Thanks for having me on too. I try to catch the show. Sometimes I think it's the time zones that I have that I barely can miss it. But
that's a you problem, bro. It's not.
I know it's a you problem. That's why.
It's player power coming into play right now. Declare flexing his player power. Panel power.
Andrew, I was making an excuse why I haven't been here more, right? Which I wanted to.
Hey, Andrew out tomorrow.
And I try to catch replays.
Trending.
Yeah, I love your reaction videos too that you guys have been doing recently. That's been funny, yes.
Thank you.
So I've been catching replays.
Nice.
But I wanted to say, I got a lot of concerns on what I perceived was Bowley in that, and now that's up in the air. I just hope that Potter can come in, he can win games, and we do that solid, because that will make everyone forget about what's happened and Tuchel and whatnot. But what I am worried is that what's the standard? What's Bowley doing? And if he's got this confidence of he knows what's best, when I don't think I question his knowledge as well. So I'm hoping a director of football does come in. I hope that it's someone that Potter wants to work with, and I hope that Potter is a massive gamble, because statistically I've seen many managers that done what Potter have done, make great teams in the lower thing, and when they make that step they don't succeed. That's probability. Like in probability wise, I've seen so many managers fail, and really not many succeed. So I'm hoping we get that one lucky guy, that Potter is that guy. And also to add that the good thing about Potter is that because he's English, I think we're gonna get a good run from the media, which is not something we get. We get criticized.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right on that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you're right on that. Wow.
So we're gonna start hearing some positive stuff, and because of that, I think Potter can buy himself some time, just being English,
buy himself
right?
some time. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
I don't want to see if Potter, if Potter starts to play Conor Gallagher and Mount, and people start saying, "Oh, they're his sons because they're English," and I don't want to see that stuff too. So I just hope that it clicks and it works, and we can forget, and we get a director of football in, and everything, and Potter can be that long-term manager. But if we start doing it, I got this massive anxiety about player power coming up again, and us firing and hiring managers, which I hated. So that's where I'm at, and I'm really backing Potter. But I hope I hope we to be a bit more patient and wait for Klopp, because I think that guy's doing way worse than what Tuchel was doing. I mean, I hope he gets a sack. I'd love the opportunity to get him.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm having reservations about Klopp right now.
But let me say something real quick. Do y'all realize as bad of a situation we in reality, Liverpool is in the lower position in the league, and they just lost like 4-1. They're in worse position than us, bro. We can smile on that.
At least Liverpool give us a reason to smile, right?
Yeah, main character.
Todd Bowley would have sucked Klopp at that situation, bro.
Main character syndrome. Jesus Christ! Oh my days.
We got movement merchants. We got players that like to run. I mean, Klopp can thrive on some of our players, I think.
Let's go.
Maybe. Danos, your final thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I just want to start off by saying thank you for having me on.
Of course, man. Of course.
I mean, like, as sad as it is, and like how much it pains me, like that he's gone and whatever. I don't think it's right, but like, the way I see it as a fan base, I feel like we should all just like, you know, have a little rest tonight, go sleep on it, wake up tomorrow like fresh-minded, see who gets appointed if they do tomorrow, whatever in the next coming days. If it is Potter, let's just be a little bit optimistic.
Yeah,
he's got like Trossard, Gross, McAllister playing like mad. So imagine like with like Mount, Sterling, Pulisic, Gallagher, like
they're having the seasons of their
players.
careers this season.
He could turn them into world beaters if he can do that. That is a big if.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm as I said earlier, like we've been through worse stuff as Chelsea fans. I mean, like the
unfortunately,
2016 season was painful. We can get through it, guys. Like, you know, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We're Chelsea.
Yeah.
We made it through sanctions. I'm sure we can make it through manager changes. Son, what do you got to say, brother?
Well, it's going to be Graham Potter's Tricky Blues tomorrow, man. That's literally what's gonna happen, bro. Whether we like it or not, bro, he's gonna be here for the next 2 to 3 years, or whenever Todd Boehly decides to pull the trigger. And don't worry, he's immune to criticism. Once he's signed, once things go wrong, I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not gonna blame the players. It's gonna be Todd Boehly and co if things go wrong. I hope he does best. Like, there's a bit of question marks for me simply because he's not backing up. Like, let's be honest, like it's a big step for him. There's a lot of question marks. I feel like he's got to convince a lot of people in the fan base, because Tuchel, like, he was loved by everyone because he's done everything that everyone asked of him. So yeah, he's got a lot of question marks. I hope he can prove me wrong. I hope he can do well. I'm not gonna blame him for any losses if we get piped 5-6 in the future, or if things go wrong. It's gonna be Todd Boehly and co that I'm after.
This man said piped 5-0. Jesus Christ. All right. Andrew, your final thoughts, our friend, the voice of reason here.
First of all, big up everyone that's come on the stream.
Yes. Round of applause for you guys in the chat, seriously.
And in the chat as well. And thank you for that. 134 we got up to live. We've got about 30 new subs. So
it's almost like you guys like the demise of Chelsea more than you like us winning the Champions League, but that's besides the point.
Exactly, yeah. And listen, it's okay to be sad that a manager's gone. It sort of doesn't, you know, you should be sad that a manager is gone, whether you wanted them out in the end or not. It's because it hurt, you know, it's a failure for the club that manager's gone.
Andrew, you say this is the highest upset in terms of sacking?
No.
Chelsea's? No?
It's up there, though.
Well, it's only high because of social media.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
I don't know. We can discuss that another time. That's another video.
Lampard was probably higher, if I'm being honest.
Oh, nostalgia, bro.
I think it was the most shocking one, actually, with timing.
Yeah,
but,
I'll give you that.
You know, if your first thought isn't putting the club above your own agendas, like proving people that you were right about something, you weren't right, you just guessed right. That's all. But listen, Potter comes in, we should all back him. We shouldn't do what we did when Lampard sacked, when Tuchel took over. You Lampard inners waiting for Tuchel to fail, and then you can like come out of your little holes. We should back Potter. Let's see what these guys are doing. If a DOF is on the horizon as well, that's a new thing as well. This is a new beginning again. Let's see what we can do, man. We've got Fulham on the horizon. I don't know what he'll be able to do if he's hired tomorrow. How much he'll be able to make an impact, I don't know. But we should back him from there. We've got a lot of games coming up as well.
Can I very quickly say something?
He doesn't even get. Apart from the international break, he doesn't get like even a week with the players by themselves. We're playing every 3 to 4 days, so he's got a tough job from the start, man.
Oh yeah, big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill.
Can I very quickly say something? Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for the players that cried about 3 at the back, bro, they're getting another manager who plays 3 at the back.
Oh,
bro,
it's
so
not over.
Crying,
3 in the back is here to stay, baby.
Yeah, but he plays.
Graham Potter's Tricky Blues,
His build-up
bro.
play is much better. His
Yeah.
build-up play is much better. They're not going to move the ball that slow.
All right, these people
Alright,
joining
we'll
in
wait and
last
see,
minute.
bro.
It's
We'll wait and see.
hilarious. But anyways, my last final thoughts here, and I'm sorry, Sports Lab. I know you just joined, but we had 2.5 hours of this, bro. So I can't let you in anymore, man. We're ending the stream. So anyways, ladies and gents, first of all, shout out to all of you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. If you can get us to 100 likes, I would really appreciate that. But on this whole sacking, look, I am devastated about it. It absolutely fucking sucks. I'm gutted, but I will say this. Graham Potter is a good manager. He plays good football. I've seen Brighton play, and I've seen how Brighton put us in the spliff. And I've seen how these Potter, with the team that he has there, Brighton, how he's put other teams like United, Liverpool, and made it very tough for them. So this guy has tactics, and I'm actually excited to see what he can do with a proper team with proper talent with Chelsea. So I back Potter all the way. It's sad to see Tuchel go. In the coming days, we'll see what happened, where it went wrong, and I hope that maybe in the future we have a Tuchel resurrection at some point, because I still think Tuchel is the better manager, but it just didn't work out with this relationship with Bowley. But I hope in the future we have like what we do with Mourinho. He comes back, continues his legacy, wins us something, maybe another Champions League. Who knows? That's just me being dreaming, right?
Potter's reunited with Cucurella, bro, his son.
So I hope everyone here does back Potter. I hope you stay supportive, and hopefully, hopefully there's less of these Lampard inners, the agendas. I really don't want to see that. It sucks. So look, everyone, be optimistic. We're hopefully this works out for us. We have a whole new team, a whole new manager. Hopefully what Declared is saying isn't hopefully his worries are put to remiss, because maybe Potter will be given time, and hopefully there's no player power, because I know we're from a different time zone or time era where this such thing as player power didn't fucking exist. We grew up with Drogba, with Lampard, all that. Player power didn't exist. So hopefully it's not something like that. Hopefully it doesn't turn into something like that. So that being said,
can we? Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask if we can end on a question that I had.
Go for it.
No, but finish your point. I thought you were almost ending it.
Well, I was going to end the stream. I was going to wrap it up on that one.
No, it's a wrapping up. It's a final question. I want to give away as almost homework for anyone that's listening and for in the panel, and to look out for, something to think about. Do you think that the match going fans will, because I know they're a bit different, will have a different reception at our next home game? Or even the Fulham game on what's happened.
We got Super Graham Potter.
We will see. We will see what happens. We're gonna do another stream, I think, before the Fulham game, because I thought I was gonna have a chill week at Casually FC. We've been putting so many videos out. It's never a dull moment with Chelsea, is it? Even Bowley has picked up on that one. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. We'll see. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined in. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss our future streams. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that description. Check out the links to Sarcasm City, where you'll also find Winter Surfer on there. Make sure you check out all these men on their socials, and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this whole situation, because I know you guys have a lot of thoughts and you would like to express. I'd like to see you guys express them in the comments. But everyone who's been here, thank you so much. Keep your head up. Potter's gonna be good. All right. You guys have a good night. We'll see you soon. Peace.